This episode of Beaten Down is brought to you by ABC Dump Roll-Off Dumpster Rental. ABC Dump is a locally owned and operated company. With 11, 15, 20, and 30 cubic yard dumpsters, they have the size for every occasion. Whether you're remodeling the house, cleaning out the garage, or doing commercial construction, they have the right size for your project. With upfront pricing and easy online ordering, ABC Dump makes ordering a dumpster as simple as possible. Give them a call or text at 682-803-8031 or order online at abcdump.net. That's abcdump.net.
And we're back.
Once again,
Something's different.
it's a little chillier in here than normal.
It's weird.
I like it.
I can't place it as something really different.
Can't put my finger on it, but something is different. I got a haircut.
I didn't notice.
Just one. It was right here on my chin. I got that one cut.
Back shaved.
I did.
So,
Do you have hairy back?
no, I do not have a hairy back. I'm pretty hairy,
Yeah.
but none on the back.
I don't either.
I guess just maybe a little bit right above the ass.
Yeah, I've got like
But
right
not
on the
nothing.
bottom, and then I'll like on my shoulders right at the back.
I don't have any on my shoulder.
But it's not like hairy.
No,
It's just like
They-
there's some hair there.
it's not like Kobe.
Right. Yeah, I'm not a grizzly bear.
No on the ass either. I know some people that got some hairy asses.
I got a little bit on there.
I mean,
It's not crazy, but I got a little bit on there.
no,
And
but-
only the crack.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
like
I know
all
people
over.
got like cheeks, like chia cheeks. It's weird. Like a werewolf.
That is awesome.
So
Awkward.
awkward. So we're trying a new spot out.
Yeah, yeah.
Just try it out, maybe
little-
mix
little-
things up a little bit.
New studio.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what we call this one. I mean, I guess we could call this one Beaten Down Studios.
Yeah. I mean, because the creator. I guess the creator of Beaten Down Studio, because the idea goes to somebody. I won't even bring up his name, but
Yeah.
but the creator, I mean, the
So
guy
it's-
behind the magic.
I always call myself the producer.
Mm-hmm.
Because without me, it doesn't go out.
This is actually Beaten Down Studios.
Yeah. I like it.
The other one's 10% Studios, which is still in
Yeah,
existence.
no, it's still there.
We're just we had some things we had to move stuff around, and we're like, hey, let's try it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have more than one location.
Still in the works.
Yeah, that's
You see, if you're watching video, we're moving. We still have, like, the other mics are just laid on the table.
just trying out a new spot. It's good to have.
Little bit of a backdrop, nothing crazy.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it a lot,
I spelled correctly.
kind of.
Yeah. So no, it's good to have more than one location, just in case fans start.
Yeah, we don't want them to know where
We're
we're
probably
at.
going to figure out where we were by now.
And this one is gated, so you can't just walk in.
Yeah, can't push the code either.
Well, that's very true. Very, very true.
You're gonna have to give me
One of those
I'm gonna
clickers.
have to get my own remote. Tasha should be fine with that, right?
It should be fine.
You just show up, and I'm sitting on the couch watching football.
What the hell's happening here?
Yeah. So yeah, I like it.
Got a fridge very close to us, though.
That's my favorite part. Is I don't know if you can see on the video or not, but right there,
So that is
right there.
Tristan when he went to Wayland for the week and a half, 2
Uh-huh.
weeks he was there. That was the fridge he had in his dorm.
So it's probably similar.
Mhm.
What was in there right now? One bottle of water and beer.
Right.
Probably. That's probably all there. There probably was nothing in it.
Now the freezer had, even when we brought it home, I never even looked in it.
It was like a
About 4 weeks ago, I looked in it, and there were still like Hot Pockets and shit like that in it.
Oh god.
Yeah, who knows how long? I mean, they'd been in there for quite
They
a
were
while
frozen.
now. Yeah, well, they were frozen, but
There's a green bag.
I don't know what was in that.
Put that in his pocket. Yeah, so we'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. Hope the AC ain't too loud.
I'll be fine. I'll be able to get that out, I think.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Lovely weather today. It was a little windy earlier,
It's supposed to be windy as shit tomorrow.
but it was supposed to still be going, I thought.
Yeah,
but
today.
it's calm as shit. Like it's just when that wind cut out, it's like a perfect day.
I feel like everything's wrong because I always drink with my right hand. For some reason, I was just drinking with my left.
Trying to do things, man.
Yeah. Hey, we're trying all kinds of. What a shitty fucking week, by the way.
Yeah, some people had.
I've had
worse weeks.
just a hell of a week. It's been just
so. Let's just tell everybody
busy
your
at
week.
work.
Yeah, let's break it down.
Busy at work. It's just
we met up on Monday just for a short period because it was St. Patty's Day.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and,
so that was the best part of the week, by the way.
So
the
first thing you say to me as soon as we walk there is, "Fucking day."
Oh yeah, hell of a fucking day, God. Monday was. So we just have a shit ton of people off, and so the 3 or 4 people that are there still working, because we haven't taken vacation. So we're just having to do their job and then also try to do our job, which is just so fun. I love it.
Yeah,
it's
good to be versatile.
Of course,
job security.
Yeah, it's not hard. I mean, it's very hard to do yours and someone else's job at the same time.
Everybody needs a whipping boy.
So it's just a hell of a day.
Mm-hmm.
But we met up because it was St. Patty's Day on Monday.
And
that is why I wore my Patty's Irish Pub shirt. Patty's Irish Pub. I couldn't remember if that's what it said. Patty's Irish Pub shirt, just in remembrance of such a good Monday.
I would have wore the same.
Oh yeah.
Shirt. I've had the
McGuire's, yeah.
From
but yours is from.
Yeah, I bought it at
an actual Irish pub
in McGuire's in not Destin, but the other one. Pensacola.
Down there. I thought that was overseas.
No.
Okay, so that was here in the States.
They're both. There's one in Pensacola and there's one in Destin. Badass place. There's dollars like hanging all over the ceiling. People sign dollars. Celebrities have been in there. Food's fucking awesome. I'm sure we talked about it on the podcast when I did it.
We did, yeah.
But that's the shirt. That's become the St. Patty's Day shirt now. I used to have one that just was green. It had a 4-leaf clover, and it just said "My Lucky Shirt." that was the shirt. So.
I used to have a Dropkick Murphys hat. That was one of those trucker hats. It was real tall. It was green. I'm telling you, it was green. Anyway, but it said "Let's get fucked up," and it had like a shamrock behind it.
I got a Texas Longhorn green one that I used to wear all the time, but for some reason my head's grown a little bit.
That's weird. Really?
Apparently, when you get fat, your head gets fat too. I've learned that you gain weight in your head,
which is weird because I can still feel like right there,
do.
but the minute you start losing weight, like it.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
Definitely gain weight in your head,
especially right here in my face.
Especially if you got like a fucking tumor.
Fucking yeah, cheeks to my chin. That's where I gain all of my weight.
That's why I have a beard.
Well, I try, but I just can't grow one.
Close enough.
Anyway, so we hang out there till
not too long. We were there a couple hours. Played some.
It wasn't long. Played some golf.
Golden Tee. Yeah, you were already having
the
Monday.
The green beer was. It took a little while to get green.
Yeah, like you know.
They had I knew that the gel wasn't. So it was gel rather than food coloring.
Yeah, she said she couldn't find.
Liquid food coloring.
Liquid, so the only thing she could find was that, and we had to try to break it up with our straws, and by the end of it...
It was green.
It was green by like that much strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we always got to do that on St. Pat. It's become a tradition.
Our wives didn't join us this year. Tasha was down with the flu.
And Chas did her typical... I feel like going out. It's Monday. It's Monday.
Yeah, Monday. I don't want to do anything.
I think last time it was like Thursday. Or Friday.
No, it would have been Sunday last year.
Was it?
Or was it Tuesday? Because it's always like there's a 1 day difference. Oh, this is a leap year.
For some reason, I thought I didn't have work.
On a leap year, it pushes forward an extra. So typically,
there's only something we could look this up.
If it's on a Monday this year, next year it's going to be on a Tuesday, Wednesday, until you get to that leap year. Then it pushes it up an extra day. So maybe I don't know.
I thought for some reason
I thought it was during the week too, though.
Could have been.
Either way, but the wives went with us last year. This year, not so much. They did not want to join us. Oh yeah, because
it was a Sunday.
It was a Sunday because we went to Coffee and Cocktails, drank the Guinness there.
That's right. It was a Sunday.
I got very drunk, and Tasha had to pick me up, and she was so happy about it.
We drank Facto's favorite
Guinness.
Well,
where did we start last year?
I think we started
Chili's.
Yeah,
because Tasha was with us.
Yeah, Because I usually was. I think Chess was too last year. Was she?
And she was supposed to join us
I don't know.
at Coffee and
It
Cocktails.
was Sunday. Yeah, that was right. It was Sunday. I get them mixed up because we used to always start off at Chili's.
Yeah. Anyway, had a great time.
Yeah.
Tuesday went straight back to shit with work. Wednesday, straight back to shit with work. Thursday,
This is a good one.
straight back to shit with work.
Which was yesterday.
Yeah. So,
Something.
I was thinking it was today. You're right. It was. So Wednesday, shitty at work. On my way home,
You get the.
I get a check engine light. Come
which
on.
never happens on your truck.
It is the weirdest thing. I never get that on my truck. I have never had any issues.
Not in the last week or so.
Right. No issues. And then all of a sudden it says service full wheel drive.
Huh.
I'm like, well, that's weird, but okay. So I take it up to the Chevy house and they cleared the codes.
That fixes it every time.
Well, all the lights go off, right? Cleared the codes and they said they did some programming things or whatever. I'm good to go. If it happens again, bring it back. We'll fix it. We'll go through it again. Okay, perfect. The next day, I have to leave very early. I got to go to De Leon, Gorman, Rising Star. So I'm kind of out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
So De Leon, hit my first couple of stops. Well, I get into the truck on my second stop of the day. When I'm done, about to head to the, and it barely cranks and then comes on.
You're like,
And I'm like, okay, well, that's like a battery. Your battery's
Sure.
going dead.
Sure.
Or the alternator, one of the two, right?
Whatever.
Something. So I text Tasha and I'm like, here we fucking go.
Yes.
And I said, well, I'm just going to leave my truck on all day. I just filled it up with diesel.
So you're supposed to do it with diesel. I heard you.
Right, just let it run. So I pull up to the next stop, which is in Gorman, park on the side of the building, leave it on. Go inside. I'm in there 20, 25 minutes maybe. Small account, not a lot of beer to sell because there's not a lot of room in there. It's a very slow account. And I come back outside and my truck is off. And I go, well, that's not good
No, because left it running.
because I left it running. Yeah. And I locked the door so I know nobody got in there and went, I'm just going to turn this off. And I sit inside the truck and push the button. The instrument panel and my radio come on and then shut off.
Awesome.
That's weird. And then my instrument panel comes back on. It says press start again. So I push the start button again. And then they all shut off again. And then I get an alert because I have OnStar in my truck. So I get an alert from OnStar.
You got that text you said.
Yeah.
Sounded real good.
Well, the first one was the battery critically low, change immediately or something. Well, I don't know if a lot of these people know about Gorman. It is one of the smallest towns around. It's an old peanut town, right? And they still do that, right?
Yeah, Rising Star and stuff, all that area, they're all peanuts.
They're peanut, like they process peanuts or whatever.
Throw them out there, they're sandy.
Yeah. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, change my battery. Look up, there's no auto parts stores in Gorman.
Awesome.
And so I'm like, well, shit. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh. And so I start calling some people from work, seeing if anybody's remotely close to there, because the closest one's in Eastland, 16 miles away. And no, of course, no one from work is anywhere close to me. I mean, why would they be? I'm out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So I'm just sitting in my truck and I'm like, hey, Tristan, he's here.
What do you do?
I think he's here in Mineral Wells, but he's actually in fucking Weatherford.
Even further away.
And he's like, I'm out. He's helping with the truck over in Weatherford. I'm like, fuck. All right. So I call another guy from work named Adolph. I call him up, and he's like, no, I'm in Granbury or wherever he was. And I'm like, well, that's not even close. Okay. Next on my list, I'm like texting Tasha. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. And so I'm probably in the truck, and I'm calling the Chevy house here in town and telling them, they're like, oh my God, well, that sounds bad. Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it sounds bad, but thanks, So finally, there's an old man that comes out of the house that's right behind that store. And I'm like, he will know. I'm Googling. Maybe there's a small mom and pop shop there that may have a battery I can use.
If there's anything around, he'll know.
Or at least they could charge my battery.
Yeah.
And so I step out. I'm like, hey, excuse me, sir. And he turns around and he is very old. And I said, hey, is there an auto parts store around here? I said, I got a dead battery. I need to replace it. He's like, yeah, there's one right over here. He goes, I'll take you. Come on, hop in. I said, no. I said, I can get up. He goes, no, hop in. He goes, I don't have anything else to do today.
You made his day just doing that.
So I'm like, you sure? And he's like, yeah. So I hop in.
Gave him a goal.
I hop in with him, and he takes me right downtown of Gorman, which is, I mean, it's not a big town, like I said, closed.
Awesome.
And he goes, well, I saw his Jeep around back, and I thought maybe that he'd be open, but no, he's still closed. And I said, oh. So I appreciate you trying. He goes, all right, well, I guess we're going to Eastland. And I go, you don't have to take me to Eastland. I said, I appreciate, he goes, I'm 91 years old. I've lost my wife 5 years ago. He goes, I don't have anything to do.
Nothing better. This is like the most excitement I've had in 2 weeks.
Right. He goes, it would help me fill my day if I could take you. And I said, let's go. So we started driving. Dude, we talked the whole way. A little scary. 91-year-old man driving me in his little truck. And he kept turning to look to me because he had hearing aids and he wanted to really, he could hear me, but he wanted to, I think he wanted to see my lips. And every time he did, you'd start hearing the, I'd be like, hey, why don't we look at the road, man? I'll talk to you. I'll talk louder. Whatever I got to do, I'll talk louder. I'm like, dude, he was telling me about, he was born in 1933 and he grew up in that area. He goes, there weren't even cars. He goes, everything was still horse and buggy out here. He said, there was one tractor. He goes, and not a tractor like y'all know. He goes, I'm talking about like an old tractor that ran all the peanut farms. So this guy would do his farm first to pull up the peanuts and till it so they could plant more. But everything was by hand. So when he would pull up the peanuts, all the families would come together. They would do his fields first, shake the peanuts, all the dirt and stuff off the peanuts, toss it wherever they're taught to bring it to the factories, the processing plants over there. And then they'd just go farm to farm and do everybody's farm. For, back then, it was just a whole community.
I got a lot of family down in Poteet area.
Yeah.
They
Strawberry.
They do the peanut stuff like that. The peanuts are big, though, too, like that. I still got family that make their living.
From peanuts?
Yeah, doing the peanuts. So
wow. When
they have downtime, when it's not harvest time or anything, they have to go find, like, side jobs.
Wow.
And they still do it.
He said, I don't remember the year he said. He said his first vehicle, and I meant to look it up. His first vehicle was a Model A. Do you know what a Model A looks like?
Damn, I thought so. It's like Model T.
Well, that's
like the first one.
That's what I thought he was going to say. Oh, dude, that is a beautiful car. Look at that's like the old
Model A Ford.
Look at that, dude.
It's like gangster shit.
I'll put a picture up for y'all to see. That is absolutely like a gangster car.
That was the one they said. Looking at it, 4-cycle engine.
They have a Model A truck, like a Model A SUV. Look, I'm just.
They have a coupe. Look it up. It's pretty. Cool.
Yeah, if you're listening, look up a Model A. Oh, dude, what I wouldn't give for one of those.
55 to 65 miles an hour, baby.
But he said that all the road, they didn't have roads. It was all dirt or like caliche roads or whatever, and so you couldn't just change a tire. That everybody carried extra patches with them, and they would patch a tire. So just like you patch a tire on your bike. They just throw patches on. He goes, we always had to carry patches just to make sure we could make it from point A to point B. He said tires were so expensive. I mean, because isn't that like Depression time?
What year?
30. Well, I don't know what year that would have been, but it was shortly after Depression. They weren't making a lot of money.
Depression was like
20s.
Yeah, 2030s.
Yeah,
right before.
So he was born in the 30s. So we're probably looking 40s, 50s, maybe, or maybe his parents had a car.
40s was World War II and stuff. So shit was
everything. Yeah. Anyway, but so they weren't making a lot of money as farmers with peanuts.
You struggle anyway. I mean,
and he even talked about that. He goes, Mom and Dad never let us go without. He goes, we didn't have a lot, but we had something to eat. Mm-hmm. He goes, it wasn't what we always wanted, but we had something to eat. Yeah. Dude, he told me he got into the military, went over to Korea. He was he ended basic training right after the war stopped, which it never really stopped. Right, like they never ended the war. The Korean War was never ended.
I think it just came to like
a conclusion.
Yeah, kind of like the Vietnam shit was kind of shaky like that too.
Yeah, he said so when he went over there, he was driving like trucks around hauling stuff over there in Vietnam. He did that for a year. Transferred over to Japan, hung out over there in Japan. And
so he got to see the world.
Yeah, and he said that's where he was in Japan when he got out of service. And dude, but he talked about his life. He said he had his wife forever, and she passed away. They were married for 59 years when she passed away, and yeah, please, 59 years when she passed away, and he said he wasn't ready just to be alone.
Yeah.
So he now has a girlfriend.
All right.
That lives in De Leon, which isn't that far from Gorman. He said, and he goes, if you leave her house hungry, that's your fault.
Damn right.
Because she cooks everything from scratch. Everything, all the bread's homemade.
I bet it's awesome.
Oh, dude, all I wanted him to do was say, you want to come eat lunch? Because I would have gone. But, I don't want to impose.
Do you know how old his girlfriend was?
Yeah, she was 87.
And she's still cooking all that shit?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. He said he knew her before he knew his wife. And they were old friends and stayed friends throughout the whole time. And then, so he'll go over there every night for dinner. He buys the groceries. And she said, don't buy me groceries. I can buy my. He goes, no, you cook for me. I'll buy the groceries.
Yeah.
And she said, you're spoiling me. He goes, you're damn right I'm spoiling you, because I'll be damned if you think you're going to find yourself another man that's better.
That's right.
And he goes, you got to remember that. Spoil your wife so she can't find anyone better. And I went, fuck.
Oh, God, shit.
Dude,
that's awesome though. You got, hey, that's a good little break in between shit.
Right. No, 100%. Yeah, and I enjoyed every bit of that conversation we had. He never, he knew, he was telling me about this as well as Jimmy Joe's farm and Tommy Tom's, and just pointed everybody out. And they sold and now somebody new. I haven't met them yet, but I will. And just told me his whole life story. And that number one, it's hard to find somebody that would ever do that for you.
Yes.
These days,
they're going to be old timers like that.
Yeah, it's got to be an old timer, and you've got to be able to be in the moment and enjoy the moment, because you've just made his day probably.
He made his month maybe.
Yeah,
there's no telling.
And he saved my ass.
For one, 91-year-olds don't do a lot anyway, and especially 91-year-olds way the hell out there.
Right. So we get back, and I put the battery in my truck, and had to look up a YouTube video on why there was extra bolts holding the battery in place. I didn't see them, so anyway, so I was like, oh fuck, just two more bolts I had to pull out, and it had been done. Put the battery in, and hook everything back up. Won't do a fucking thing. I'm like, fuck, and so I popped the hood.
Batteries are real cheap too.
Oh yeah, battery was.
I'm sure
and I didn't have tools. I had no tools with me, so I had to go buy the battery all the way in Eastland and the tools to do it. And we went to Napa.
Napa, no.
Napa was the first one we saw. I said, that's fine, pull in there. Yeah. If they have it, let's go. The battery was $300.
Yeah, that's insane how much they cost.
The tool kit was another $100. I go, I don't need a $100 toolkit. Yeah, honestly, I know that I need 3 sockets and 1 ratchet wrench, and then an extender.
We don't have them like that. All we have them is.
He goes. This is the smallest one we have, and I'm looking at. They have like individual ones, but they don't have. They didn't have. They were out of the 10mm sockets, and
so you got to buy the.
So I was like, so I had to buy the 100. I'm like, fuck.
Keep that in the truck from now on.
I did. So well, I mean, anyway, so now I'm calling the Chevy house again. I'm sorry, this is a long story, but it's
good.
Fuck.
Hey, we
got time.
Yeah.
Calling the Chevy house, and they're like, get it towed here. We'll take care of it. So I call AAA, or not AAA, my roadside assistance. And motherfuckers are like, yeah, we'll take it. Eastland's the closest one. I'm like, yeah, that's an hour away from me, though. Let's get it to Mineral Wells. They're like, 25 miles free. Anything else you have to pay for. So after the 25 miles, it was 64 miles from where I was to this Chevy house. $500. $450, $500. It would be what past the 25, what it would cost me to get it to Mineral Wells. I said, take it to Eastland.
Yeah, screw it.
Get it to Eastland. They check codes on it. It's 2 pages, front and back, all electrical. So I'm sure when I hook the battery up, I don't fucking know.
Awesome. So it's in Eastland right now.
It's in Eastland right now. I haven't heard from them yet. They said they'd call and let me know. So I'm without a truck currently.
You know what would have been awesome is when that guy was like, I'll take you to Eastland. And it turns like horror movie. Like he turns down like a side road and you're like, oh wait. He's like, no, I want to show you something. And he just keeps driving like deeper.
And then all of a sudden I'm in the Hills Have Eyes.
All of a sudden he's like,
oh God. Oh, he turns into a monster. Oh God.
That'd been awesome.
And then all of a sudden he's young and I'm dead. He's a soul sucker.
Yeah, he's young and you're like real old. And you're like, what the? He's like, and he's the one that did that to your truck and everything to get you.
Right.
That's good. We need to make up this idea for a
movie.
Yeah.
So there's my
trademark.
week.
Nobody steal it.
My week in a fucking nutshell. Model A, dude. I forgot about that.
Those are badass.
That is a fucking awesome car.
Yeah. You need to put the picture thing. Like
Yeah.
Model A.
Model A.
Do it right now. Model A.
Model A.
Well, that's cool. I mean, at least you get some joy out of.
Yeah, it that was definitely a bright, hour in my day. That was a shit show of a day.
Yeah.
Tasha had to leave work to come pick me up in
Well,
Eastland.
I'll just read you my text from you.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
So, this was in the group text, so here we go. The first text just says, urgent diagnostic alert. Service the engine and transmission system in your 2023. Text stop to cancel. So you got this text.
Yeah.
And you said, this should be fine, right? And David's like, you ever tried anybody else, blah, blah. And then you said, lucky I'm close to town in Gorman. And since it won't start at all, should be easy to get this thing in the shop. And that was at 11:30.
Right.
The next text I saw from you was at 2:30, showing the regular loading it up. So I was like, oh, God. So right there I saw, I was like, oh, Jesus.
Dude, that day turned into a clusterfuck above
And you're
all.
supposed to be real busy at work, and you're down.
And today was a busy-ass day, too.
Damn.
I love it, though.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell?
Without bad days, the good days wouldn't be good.
That's right.
You just have...
Without dark, there's no light.
Mm-hmm. That is correct. I hear this is an ongoing thing that's recently been happening. Have you gotten any texts that say you owe...
Oh, yeah, the new text thing, the scam is the toll thing.
Yeah, that you owe a toll.
Yeah.
Click on this link to pay your toll.
I got one of those last week, and I was like, no. And I even showed it to Chas, and she was like, no, that's a scam. That's a scam. I saw it on TikTok or something. So I got one today.
How many people do you think fall for that?
Easy.
You think a lot? I feel like it's the older people.
Anybody over there, anybody probably in their 60s or above will fall for that.
Right.
I mean, that's what they target most of the time anyway. They just send it out. But that's what is going to scam them because...
Yeah, but you would think, hey, I haven't been on a toll road. Why am I going to pay a toll?
No, I got one today.
Did you?
And I just did the delete report junk thing on it.
You know anybody that's fallen for that toll scam?
No, I do not.
I do.
Oh, shit. Who did it? Your mother.
So last night...
You did.
2 nights ago.
Tristan.
2 nights ago, I'm sitting in the kitchen, and Tristan and Alexis are down there.
Oh, here we go.
We're bullshitting. And Tristan goes, did I tell you I had to get a new bank card? I said, no, why? I said, oh, yours expired or what? He goes, no. He goes, I got scammed. And Alexis starts laughing and calling him an idiot. And I go, what happened? He said, well, I got a text. So on his birthday, they went over and they took toll roads.
I can see why he would believe it.
They took toll roads, but they weren't in his car. They were in somebody else's car, saying that we owe tolls. And I go, you weren't driving. He goes, yeah. He goes, that's why I thought it was weird.
You still clicked on it.
And he clicked on it, put his information in.
Well, I mean, let me take it back. Anybody over their 60s and anybody younger than 23 would probably fall because my oldest one
Would absolutely fall
Audrey
for
would
that.
fall for that in a heartbeat.
I'm surprised she hadn't gotten one yet, or hasn't told you.
Yeah, she's probably like,
So as soon as he did it, he was. I guess Lexus was right there with him,
she's like, no, dumbass.
and she's like, "What are you putting your card number in for?"
Ugh,
And he had already submitted it, and he goes, "Oh, money to the tollway."
but the car
for that-
that wasn't my car that I wasn't driving.
Right. And she goes, "What do you mean?" He shows her. He goes, "I got this text," and she goes, "It's a fucking scam." And so he immediately checks his bank account. Nothing yet. He calls, shuts off his card, and I go, "You still need to be checking your bank account
Yeah, you need to be
every fucking
you
day."
need to tell the bank every day, call and be like,
Yeah.
they got to put a freeze on everything.
Right. Which is, I'm like, you idiot. I'm like, they will never text you. You'll get a letter in the mail from them.
Yeah. No, yeah. For
It'll
sure.
have a picture of your license plate on there. It'll say what roads you were on.
No, I'd got one a couple of weeks ago, and I instantly thought Audrey, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because the cars and all our names. So I instantly thought, oh shit, Audrey. But I was like, but then I was like, it's
Where
weird.
would she have gone, though?
So I didn't do anything, and when I got home, I said, "Is this Audrey? Or is this bullshit?" And she goes, "No, that's bullshit." Because I'm not gonna click on bullshit.
Fuck no.
Because they will mail it. Because I showed her. I was like, "Did we get this in the mail?" And you ain't showed it to me
Yeah.
to keep Audrey out of trouble.
But no, huh?
No, it was just. And then, like I said, I got one today. It popped up today, and delete, report junk. Bastards.
Dude, I still give him shit today.
Oh,
I'm
man, I
like,
can't wait to
you
see.
fucking idiot.
I can't wait till I see him.
I mean, he's in there laying down right
I'm
now.
gonna say I need some money for a toll.
Hey, I owe toll. You want to give
Yeah,
me some money
yeah.
too, idiot?
You know, stupid.
Dude,
Tristan.
I was just like, what? Don't ever fall for a scam
That's so
like that.
dumb. I'm gonna beat the shit out of his dad.
I immediately. So we were at lunch today, and I told Nick. Tristan showed up, and I go, "Hey, did you tell him that you're going to get some money from a Nigerian prince who's trying to get money out of the whatever his dad died?" And blah.
Oh boy.
Nick goes, "What? Did you fall for that?" And I go, "No, this one's better."
Yeah, close.
I do have another family member that did fall for that scam. The Nigerian prince, or I don't remember where this one was from.
An older person that fell for that.
No, it was my cousin,
Okay, so
he's older than Carlos, so he's 54, 55. But at this time, we're talking 10 years ago, maybe. So he was 44, 40s. He was in his 40s when it happened. And he goes, "I got scammed out of $2,500 or something." And I was like, "What? How did that happen?" And he goes, "Nigerian prince wanted me to help him get his money." And I go,
God.
"Oh my fucking God."
I don't believe any freaking text or emails or anything till you get something written in the mail because they will always
Right.
No matter what, they will always send you something.
Right. Even the Nigerian prince.
Yeah. He got a gold bar sent to him.
Yeah, of course he did. I've got something I want to play for you.
Okay.
And I remember a long time ago that... Oh, did I text it to myself? Maybe I didn't. I can't play it for you then if I didn't text it to myself. I thought I did.
Way to go, Tristan.
Let me see. So, okay. So then apparently I got a lot of Beetlejuice that I texted to myself. It's because I start watching a video
Yeah.
and something happens.
I'll do the same thing where I send it to myself. So like, I don't want to forget this.
Well, I just want to remember to finish watching that video. Like I was in the middle of it and I love it. Okay. So we can just go through it. The movie Friday.
Yes. Great movie.
He's in the kitchen.
Oh, did you see like the scenes that are like weird?
No, he's in the kitchen
Okay.
and his dad comes in.
It says
Starts-
every time I'm
in the kitchen, you in the kitchen.
in the goddamn refrigerator, eating up all the food,
Yeah.
all the pig's feet,
Yeah.
all the hog mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always ham, no burger.
Yeah.
Peanut
Well,
butter.
that's Friday saying. I mean, that's Smokey saying that.
Well, yeah.
Because that's
Anyway,
what
but
we
so
got no
anyway, so
sugar.
when the dad. Anyway, so the dad's griping at
He's
him.
eating the grapes.
Yeah, he goes, and I hide these grapes because I don't want you to eat them.
Yeah, and you're like, wait a minute, I don't remember seeing that.
Right. Yeah, so that was a little extra part of it.
There's a lot of stuff from Friday they didn't release.
But watching the movie originally, I was on Craig's side.
About the trash?
No, I was on Craig's side about being upset that his dad's getting on to him because he's in the fridge eating all the food or whatever. I'm like him, like, Dad, just let me live.
Well,
I'm hungry.
Dad also knew though that he had got fired.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't know that his dad knew.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I was on Craig's side going, like, because I was a kid when that movie.
Yeah,
I was a kid when that movie came out.
For sure.
And now I'm more on.
I'm
more on the dad's side.
Like, well, I bought all these groceries.
Yeah,
you're living in this house. My rule was you either go to school or have a job.
Yeah, or have a job.
You got anything to put on the table at the end of the month? You ain't got to worry about catching the dog. You better worry the dog catching your ass. That's where he's going from.
But so I was always on Craig's side on that. Dude, I have switched now.
No,
I'm on Dad's side now.
On Dad's side. You ain't chipping in.
And here's how I know I'm on his side, because I have to hide stuff in my pantry.
I do the same thing.
So that my kids don't eat every bit of it the minute it comes home.
I do the same thing. If we buy anything that I want, that I want to make sure I get,
going.
I hide it.
Yeah.
Because they'll just eat it. You cold too? It's freaking icebox in here, man. I feel like I'm Rocky in the meat locker. Jeez, at least we know that thing works. Yeah, I was wondering if because you're in shorts. I was like, I feel like fucking Rocky and the meat locker just.
I saw you kind of look at it when it went off.
I was like, oh, thank God. It went off and then it came back on. I was like, that bitch works.
I know.
All right, well, that's a good sign.
That's the first time I've used this for an extended amount of time without me or Tasha being in here working out.
That thing freaking works.
It gets nice and cold.
Well, I mean, no, I'm 100% with you. I hide stuff to make sure.
Right. And how dumb is it that we have to hide shit in my own fucking house?
I have to make sure if I have cash in my wallet that I don't leave it sitting out, because that cash will just vanish.
Really?
Yeah, and that's usually the wife taking it. Oh, I needed cash for my coffee or something like that. I have cash. So I'll hide cash. I got cash stashes, like a drug dealer, around the house.
Caches, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And I ain't gonna tell you where you're at in case nobody's looking. You'll never find it if you're listening. Audrey, Taylor, Chess. You'll never find my cash.
Well, Taylor will not listen.
Audrey will.
I know Audrey will. I don't know about Chess. I doubt she listens.
Well, see, Audrey will listen to Taylor.
Oh, yeah, of course. Dad's got money hidden, and now you're going to come home and everything's going to be ransacked.
They'll never find it.
Look like you got robbed.
You'll never find it, so don't even try.
It's in the toilet.
Yeah. It's up my butt.
Gross.
No, yeah, I do the same thing. I hide shit that I want to be like, I need to make sure I get some of this, so I need to hide.
It got so bad that the kids would, in the middle of the night, come downstairs and raid the pantry. Like 1 or 2 in the morning raiding the pantry.
Oh, last week Taylor was on spring break. And, I stay up pretty late. So sometimes I'm up till midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it was almost midnight. I'm fixing to go to bed. Here comes Taylor down the stairs. I'm hungry. And I forgot to eat dinner, because she's gone all the time now with her friends, and she shows up at. I was like, all right, well, there's stuff in there. I want fish sticks.
So she's gonna fire up the.
I made her fish sticks in the air fryer, and that was her midnight snack. Snack was fish sticks. Because me and Taylor are the ones that like the fish sticks.
Right.
They are good. But that was her midnight snack.
That's awesome.
So can you imagine eating fish sticks at midnight and then going to sleep?
I feel like that'd be a little easier on your stomach than a bag of chips or some hot fries or...
There's freaking batter all over them.
Well, but it's not like... Well, I mean, I guess maybe it is. Fuck, I don't know.
But I mean, I was like... I told Audrey that. I said, your sister had fish sticks for a midnight snack last night. She's like...
But they don't eat that, right?
Yeah, that's why she's like... Ugh.
I hadn't had them in a while, but I do love fish sticks.
We haven't had them in a long time, but like a few months ago, for some reason...
Gordon's?
Yes. For some reason, Taylor was like, I feel like fish sticks. I think I sent you a picture when you made them.
Yep.
I hadn't had them in years. They used to be when they were little. I was like, all right. We were at the grocery store together, so doing fish sticks, and she's been loving that stuff ever since.
Huh.
Like, she's back on the fish stick wagon.
Hell yes.
And I'm down. And I got tater tots to go with them. Tater tots out of the air fryer. Remember I sent you a picture of them tater tots?
Mm-hmm.
I know how much you love them, and they were crisp. And I do them when they're extra crispy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I stop them on the time when they say it, and I shake them, and I put them in like another 2 minutes.
Oof. Oof.
Ketchup with the pepper. Or Daniel pepper with the ketchup.
Pepper with a little bit of ketchup on
But
it.
yeah, I was laughing midnight snack. It was fish sticks.
That's crazy.
Good thing is half the stuff I really like, they don't. So I have my own shelf. The top shelf in the pantry is mine. Like, that's my shelf.
Oh, is it?
That's where I put, like, my Kipper snacks.
Yeah.
And my Vienna sausages and all. Nobody's going to eat that. So I put, that's like, top shelf is all my
It's
stuff
because
like
it's
that.
top shelf items.
Yeah. And
Right.
I don't have to worry about anybody stealing that for some reason. I don't know. And I've been on a Vienna sausage kick lately. Where
Dude.
I've been back on.
The last time I had them,
Man,
something about them I didn't like them. But then I'll get on a kick where I want to eat them.
Well, I went through Brookshire's like a couple of weeks ago, and they were on sale like 99 cents a can. So I was like, get a couple of smoked ones, a couple of chicken ones, a couple of original, a couple of barbecue. And now I've just been.
See, and I'm just on the original.
I love.
I mean, I'll try them all. I mean, I've had them all.
To me, the best ones are the smoked ones. Have you even tried them? Dog.
No.
They're good.
They still got the juice and shit in them?
Oh, yeah. And I'll drink that. It grosses people out, but it's awesome.
So good.
My mom, like, some people like it. I use that for, like, my dog food treats. They give them, I was like, I freaking hate this shit. But no, I've been eating like a can a day.
That's awesome. They're good.
Like at work, my lunch was I bought cucumbers and I sliced them up myself. I threw them in a Tupperware thing.
That's not how you normally eat them.
What?
Cucumbers.
Oh, yeah.
You normally eat them whole.
Yeah.
One bite.
So I chopped them up, and Chassa bought some little plastic cup things, you know, that you used to put like ranch dressing and stuff in because they were making salad. So I put some ranch in there and put it with it.
Damn.
So for lunch, I ate them cucumbers, had a can of smoked Vienna sauce. That was my lunch.
Listen, just take a cucumber and put tahini on it. Just fine.
Audrey loves that tahini.
Yep.
Just give me salt and pepper and a little ranch.
I mean, I'll eat them in ranch or just sprinkle tahini on them and eat them that way.
I mean, I love them just salt and pepper. I mean, cucumbers are good.
Mm-hmm.
And black olives.
Love black olives.
I'm not big on green. I'll eat
Love
them,
green olives.
But I like the stuffed ones like jalapeno.
No, just regular pimentos in them.
But the black olives, man. Just by the can.
Yeah. I'll do that with peas. I've told you that. I've said this before because I love pea salad. So I'll just take a can of peas, put mayonnaise in it, mix it up, and
that's fucking gross.
just eat it just like that.
That's taking it.
It's so good, man.
Damn. Mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise and just a pea salad. And I love pea salad.
I mean, I like sweet peas. Just like sweet peas.
Yeah.
By themselves.
Throw mayonnaise in it, dude, and just
And
mix
I
that
talked to
shit
my
up.
Mom, what was that damn? So we went to Poteet for Aunt Nancy's funeral a couple months ago. That's what got me on the kick to go to the Strawberry Festival because I haven't been down there in a while.
Right.
And we had a lunch after the funeral, and there was some kind of peas they made. And I started eating them, and I was like, this is bringing back memories like I haven't. And Mom's like, no, they're really big down here. Like, everybody loves them. But they weren't sweet peas.
Were they snap peas?
I don't know, but they were. I got to text her. Find out what.
Did you hear about there's a guy from France that's in like the European Parliament. Did you hear about him?
Hang on, I'm on a mission. Hang on.
Go ahead and text her. So there's a guy in the European Parliament. He's from France.
From France.
And he says they want the Statue of Liberty back.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. And I love the response of the.
So Trump's response?
Yeah, she was great.
Trump's response was, it's only because of the U.S. that you're currently not speaking German.
Yeah, and she said, she goes, I recommend to a, because he was like.
A nobody?
Yeah, no, but that maybe keep his mouth. Like, that was awesome. I was like, yeah, send it back. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we want it back.
Y'all sent us as a gift because we.
And we, growing up, had a word for that. Somebody that would give you something and take it back.
A something giver.
An Indian giver.
Yeah.
Which is, I still don't know where that came from.
I don't know either. It just was always a saying. There's been so many sayings that you don't really know. When you look at the origins, it's usually all racist.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
But yeah, I want to. Those peas, like, they're only like I can't remember what they're like. Smaller. They're really small peas. Don't worry, she'll text me, and then I took a gamble.
They weren't like smashed peas or anything?
No. They were just like, but damn, it's quiet in here now.
Yeah.
Oh,
there she goes, huh? So it was based on cultural misunderstandings that took place between early European colonists and indigenous people when they traded stuff. They viewed the exchange as a gift and believed they owed nothing, but they wanted something in return. And because they didn't get something in return, they would take it back. So they were the indigenous people, Indians, were trying to trade things, but instead of trading, they were just like, "Oh, you're giving this to us, thanks," and would walk away, and they'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 where's my whatever? Where's my part of this trade?"
Southern cream peas is what she said we called them.
Southern cream peas, huh?
And there was a specific brand, like the canned brand or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they were, but big down in Poteet area, like, and they kind of look like that.
Southern,
but man,
that looks like a chickpea.
They do a little. They fix them a certain way, and I haven't had them since I was probably down in Poteet with us.
You know the difference.
I instantly like it, and I was like, "Oh shit, this takes me back."
You know the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean?
No,
I've never let a garbanzo bean on my face.
Damn it! I knew there was something coming. I had one joke for you that I might have already said it. I don't know if I said it or not.
Well, you told me one earlier.
What does the movie Titanic and The Sixth Sense have in common?
I don't know.
I see dead people.
You're so stupid. So stupid.
The other ones already told you that maybe aren't fit for.
Did you hear about the new findings with the pyramids?
No,
in
there's
Egypt.
New ones now.
No, not new pyramids. The new findings at the pyramids.
What is it now?
So, dude, this is crazy. And they had a big news conference about it. So it's true. I did see it on TikTok.
Okay.
This company did. They call them SAR radars. I don't know. Synthetic aperture radars. They took like this.
That's when they do
basically like sound waves.
Yeah, that's when they do like the ground penetration radar.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So they did that at the
Three Great
Pyramids, the pyramids of Giza, or in Giza, whatever. So not the Great Pyramid, but the Middle Pyramid. So the second tallest one, whatever, Kaffa, I think is what it's called. They revealed structures underground,
which makes sense.
So there's 5 identical structures to the King's Chamber. So the King's Chamber, it has like 5 or 6 layers of giant stones up above the King's Chamber.
How the hell did they get those stones there?
Well, so they said that the reason that this had that King's Chamber has that is because the pressure of the pyramid would crush it, and that they have that to keep it from crushing. Yeah. But none of the other chambers within that pyramid have that structure to it, just the King's Chamber. So why wouldn't the other ones have it if it's so integral to keeping it from crushing? The other one should also have it, right? Only the King's Chamber. They found 5 more below the pyramid, exactly like it, all the same with the same structures above. So they found 5 more chambers with that. Below that, they found 8 cylinders. And then like they have a spiral. It almost looks like a spring going down each cylinder. So there's like 4, like 2, 2, 2, 2, 4, and then 4. 8 cylinders going down 648 meters into the bedrock. Under that, There's two 80 meter squares, like 80 meter perfect squares that those are sitting on. And they're saying there's even more stuff under that they haven't fully seen yet.
What the fuck?
If we aren't being lied to about there's more to those pyramids than just tombs.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, what's funny is the pyramids weren't really tombs. That's
what they're saying. Yeah.
But they weren't really tombs. Those great pyramids, like some people think they were like some old technology of like generators or something like that.
And they're saying that the stuff even below, so that one's like really like straight below the center, the middle. I mean, it's a little wider than the pyramid itself, but they're saying that the stuff below spans across the entire plateau of where those pyramids are. But they're finding so much more shit underground.
Man.
So are we kind of on the precipice of really seeing ancient?
Like I said, there's always those theories that makes the most sense to me is there was some
power.
There was some kind of technology.
Yeah, ancient technology
that we don't know
about.
That that the society had got to, and some global thing happened. Meteors, ice age, something that knocked us back into the Stone Age again. And then we went just a different way with technology. We didn't go that way that the people ahead of us did. And this is remnants of the technology we have no concept of because we didn't follow that path.
Right.
And now that's why we can't. They still can't explain like how these fuckers were built and stuff. Nobody can.
So this says, like, I'll read it verbatim. These are the findings. It says under the pyramid of Khafre. These are the findings. 5 identical structures near the pyramid's base connected by geometric pathways, each with 5 horizontal levels and a sloping roof. So it has like a roof on it, on top of each one of those 5 structures. 8 cylindrical structures resembling vertical wells surrounded by spiral pathways descending to a depth of 648 meters. These are arranged in 2 parallel rows merged into 2 massive cubic structures, each 80 meters per side. So a perfect square. The entire underground system spans 2 kilometers and extend beneath all 3 pyramids.
So it makes you think like that's the older civilization, and the newer civilization, the Egyptians that we know of, just kind of built on top. Stuff building up, sand and everything. Like maybe this is like if they can unearth that somehow. Which good luck. I don't know how.
How you dig all that out
without destroying like the pyramid and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a peek into stuff that some people have suspected. Like there's some kind of
dude. It is crazy. The amount of stuff that we don't know, and just in that area. What about all the other pyramids around the world?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
The Mayan pyramids and all that stuff.
Well,
they've already uncovered in the Amazon rainforest, like by doing that same ground penetration radar, that it looks like there were vast cities in the Amazon.
Right.
That something happened to that civilization and then the forest overtook it.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't see it anymore. So there was something going on there.
The one you were talking about in Mexico, the Chichen Itza, I think, that's the one where when they found it, it was completely covered up by all like the grass and the jungle and stuff.
And it was only like
there was a little piece of the top sticking out.
There was only like 200 feet from ones they'd already found years earlier, and they didn't even know, and they only found it by doing that ground. So I mean, it seems like there's a lot older stuff than what we've been told on how old Earth is.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's probably, like I said, everything to me adds up to. There was a civilization before ours that had different technology, and something knocked humans back to the Stone Age, and they started over again, the ones that were left, and they just kind of went a different way on.
And to get real deep into the woods or into the weeds on this, this could be where, as you've talked about before, where the giants come into play.
Yeah.
Where the Anunnaki and all those ancient
Well, giants are talked about in the Bible.
Right.
I mean,
So this could be where those come into play, right? Because
David versus Goliath. Goliath was a giant.
right. But to help build these structures, to help.
Yeah, you think. Did you ever read the story about this? So there was a story that a guy, I can't remember what podcast I heard it on, but supposedly there was a story about a special forces group, SEALs or somebody in Iraq or Afghanistan. I think it's Afghanistan. Some platoon had went missing. Like they didn't know what happened to them. Just out of contact. They were in the Afghani mountains. So much so they sent a Navy SEAL team, like I think it's Navy SEALs or Green Beret. They sent a special forces unit out to find out what the hell happened. At first, they said they start coming across the last ping. They knew the location. They're in the mountains. First, they come across looked like a battle had happened, kind of like there's some. They found like a body, and there's like some, and they keep going. The further they go, they're coming across more stuff that you can tell something happened, like a fight went down. And they get to a plateau type, and there's a cave, and they find like the rest, like there's guys dead and all this stuff, and like what the hell happened? Something took them all out, a whole platoon of like army or something. And special force guys look around, and then out of nowhere, like a spear takes out a dude, and this fucking giant comes running out of the cave, and the special forces guys dropped it, finally killed it.
Sounds like a movie.
Yeah, like a 10-foot guy, like huge guy, and government shows up, takes the body away in like a helicopter, and some guys talk about loading on a C-130 and all that shit.
Have you? I mean, while we're here, let's keep getting into crazy stuff.
Let's go.
Have you heard the theory that when humans were evolving, they evolved into two separate Homo sapiens and Neanderthals?
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, I heard they're like we're like loosely like Homo sapiens are us. That's what we evolved
right.
from. And the Neanderthals are like kind of like cousins to us, right? And a lot of people thought they've proved Neanderthals existed.
And they're saying that Neanderthals
they died off.
They're saying that the Neanderthals were hairy, like had hair all over their body.
They were more like
not ape-like, but
no, they were more like physically
yes,
strong.
They were physically
and all that stuff, bigger,
physically larger, physically stronger, faster,
but the intellect
and were more aggressive, where the Homo sapiens were not.
Yeah, they were more like animal-like, and because
correct,
physically they were stronger, mentally we were stronger.
Right.
So that's why they say they died off.
Well, so they and like the Homo sapiens are us, that we were on the verge of extinction by the Neanderthals, until we realized that if we go into other climates where they can't survive or thrive, and we could, I guess, which I don't know what that would be, because whatever, that's how we survived.
You think they would be stronger than us with climates, but maybe we were smarter and just figured out how to get.
Well, what they were saying is that we learned how to use caves, and we learned how to use fire, where they didn't. They just relied on their brute strength. They ate everything.
They just eventually died off because food source and all this.
Right. Because we could use caves to hide in, and they were unable to find us or whatever. I don't remember exactly how it was. Yeah, we were just smarter, and so we outsmarted them, and that's the reason why we survived and not them. And that's where like we descend from apes comes from.
Yeah.
And while we're still part of that, you're right. Like they're our cousins, second cousins, or however you want to say that.
The ape thing, I don't agree with. Like we descended from apes, because I think we're a different classification than apes. Because to me, if we descended from apes, why are apes still here? Right? There's still apes and everything like that. I don't think we descended from apes. I think we're closely related, because they say the DNA link between humans and apes is like not that big.
Well, yeah, but I see where you're going with that. But I think it's just a matter of
That's of course if you believe in like evolution, like.
But I still think that's a matter of evolution, where you have a part that evolved one way and a part that either stayed where they were or evolved a separate way.
Because then you get into like the religion thing, right? Like God created humans,
Right.
God created man.
Right.
That if you believe in that, then you don't believe we descended from apes because he created man separately.
Yeah. Well, there's
So it just
evolution
you
and
fall into that,
creationism.
yeah. So
Something
you fall
like
into that too.
Right.
It's who the hell knows? It's just wild. Have you heard about this? So we're talking about apes. So I don't know if we talked about this before. So you got regular chimps,
Mm-hmm.
and you got gorillas.
Mm-hmm. Preppy
Apparently-
gorillas.
Apparently, there's somewhere in the Congo where there's like a breed of chimps. They're like a cross between chimps and apes, where they're like standing.
Chimps and gorillas.
Yeah, chimps. They're like 6 foot tall chimps that are massively stronger
No way.
than they're mass. Like no, most chimps are like I think 4 foot tall, 3 to 4. These chimps are like 6 foot tall.
Well, gorillas aren't small.
No, but these guys are like they're built like they look more like chimps, but they're really built like look like chimps on steroids, and they're 6 foot tall.
Good lord.
And they like kill lions and shit, and they're really highly aggressive. And they came across like they discovered this,
Oh my god.
and they're mean. I gotta find them. They're I'll watch
Give me a beer while you're searching for whatever.
Yeah, they look brutal, and they exist. They found them.
That's real.
Yeah, I'm fixing to show you like what they look like.
Do you know what they're called?
So
Also, while you're looking, the video that Dave sent us.
I did not watch it yet because I was with the family, so all I saw was your reaction.
I don't know if that's true. And so Dave, of course, what do we call him?
So the reports of Billy apes or Bondo apes, giant chimpanzees reportedly standing up to 6 feet tall, engaging in behaviors like lion killing, are largely based on like just
Folklore.
people's accounts.
Yeah.
But supposedly, like there's some pictures of these bastards.
It's going to be an AI generated picture you're going to show me.
Like
Oh, God.
they're
They're giants.
supposedly
Oh,
like,
my God.
supposedly these things only exist in the Congo, and they're like, because the Congo is like
You're gonna have
highly. Like,
Text me whatever you just
Yeah.
searched so I can
so that
put a picture
I'm
up.
sure it could be bullshit. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like I said, AI is so good nowadays. But this story, I remember hearing about it like a few years ago. I think Joe Rogan and them talked about it. Like he had some animal specialists like saying because they talk about like in the Congo, like it's so untapped. Like
That's half the Amazon, right?
no, Congo's like
No, I'm saying that like just like half the Amazon.
yeah.
There's so much in there that we've never, or
Yeah.
the fucking oceans.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
mean, they're talking about the Congo. Like, there's rumors about because the guy that was on Joe Rogan, he's like an animal specialist, and he was talking about the only place that fits the climate for giant snakes that nobody's ever seen a giant snake in is the Congo.
Oh,
And
where there's like reports of them. There.
yeah, but nobody's ever like found them.
Yeah.
And there was one report.
I wouldn't want to
to
find them.
No, there was one report of like a pilot that was he was a respected colonel, like a high-ranking officer in the military that was flying some people over the Congo, and they reported seeing a like 50-foot black snake that was so big it struck at the plane.
I've seen that. I mean, I've heard
Yeah.
and seen like a video on that before. Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
They were talking about that, and then they talked about the Bondo apes or whatever, the
yeah,
Bondo chimpanzees. Supposedly there's these 6 foot highly aggressive chimpanzees that kill lions and shit with their bare hands.
are there lions in the Congo?
Apparently. I mean, it is.
I don't know anything about
Congo's
where they
in-
live. I would
Congo's
assume
in-
African safari, so Africa.
But I mean,
But surely they travel
it's
everywhere.
crazy. Every time I hear Congo, I think of the movie Congo.
So-
Remember Congo
Yes.
with the gray?
Yes.
And I think that's what they based. Hearing this story, those things.
That's what they based it off
Well,
of?
they were different, right? Like they weren't like silverback gorillas. They stood like they were gray.
Yeah.
And they were way bigger and stronger. They were like guarding like that place of rubies or whatever.
You ever seen the movie Jungle Book where all those
Those were orangutans. Most
orangutans were?
That's King Louis.
King Louis. They're the whole
Yeah.
separation of what do they call it? Where you have the people that have money, the people that don't.
Class.
The classes. The separation of classes. Yeah, that was Jungle Book.
Yeah.
King Louis.
King Louis.
No, but Dave sent that video, dude. I
haven't watched it yet.
I know you haven't watched it. You still watch it. So, I don't remember where it said it was from. It said South Africa or where, I don't, and whether it's real or not, but the video itself was a real video. They said that in order to make the cows produce more milk, they blow air into the cow's hoo-ha, not the butthole, the vajayjay.
This is a video of that?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And so there is a guy literally with his face in it blowing air into it. And then he'd pull back, get a breath, and then come back and blow more and more and more. And they say it helps. I don't know how that does it, but the video was saying that it helps them produce milk. I don't know how that can be. But it gets worse.
Oh, God.
Because then the cow starts peeing, and then he's
I don't want to watch it.
Washing his hands in the pee, and I'm like, oh, what are we doing?
They did say that back in the older times, guys would use pee to wash, like they use their own pee.
Because it's sterile, and I like the taste.
And it makes their hands like leather, like tougher. Like, what did I see that off of?
Did you ever hear that? But maybe that's true. Who knows? But we were always told, maybe you were, I think we were all told, that if you pee on your feet, you won't get athlete's foot.
I heard that all my life.
And so I always peed in the shower. In the shower.
But I've heard that too.
I would pee on my feet in the shower.
I've always heard that too.
I don't know that that's true. And then you pee on a jellyfish sting.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. There's I guess it's the ammonia in the pee or something deadens the pain. That is true.
I don't ever want to get stung by a jellyfish.
That always makes me think of the Friends episode.
Can you? Oh yeah, with Monica.
Gets stung by, and
Chandler can't. Joey can't.
Well, Joey had dug a giant hole, because that's what Joey does. And she's like, it's agonizing, and they're like, well, pee on your feet, and they're like, jump in Joey's hole, and she can't pee. And then you never know what happens. And then when they tell this story later, they're like, I couldn't angle myself that way, so I looked to Joey. And Joey's like, that's right, I stepped up. My friend was hurt and she needed my help. If anyone needed me, I'd pee on any one of you. But he's like, I couldn't. I get the stage fright, so we looked at Chandler.
Yes.
He's like, Joey kept yelling, do it now, do it now, do it now. Sometimes I still hear him in my sleep. Yeah, that's what I always think of.
Underrated shows sometimes. And I say underrated because a lot of people love it, but then there's a lot of people that just don't like it. And I really think it's like my son, not a fan.
It
is such a good show.
No, and like I said, it's really good. I know it went 10 seasons, but to me, like the first 5 or 6 seasons are really good.
Who's your favorite character?
Joey.
Joey, 100%.
Joey,
who is the worst character on that show?
So, probably Ross, because is
fucking terrible.
He's so whiny.
You know the worst, the worst time the time that I hated Ross the most, when he was, what do you call it, Rage Ross?
Oh, Red Ross.
Red Ross.
Yeah, that's when he was dating Emily, which I hated that character.
I hated Emily too.
And me and Chess are like,
but at that time I also didn't like Rachel.
But she was, when you go back and watch it, I like, because Chess is a big friend, so we've watched it, and I like it too.
Yeah.
But man, a lot of them episodes, I'm like, man, this.
And I did want Ross and Rachel. I mean, Rachel and Joey to get together.
I didn't like that. I thought that was too forced when they did it.
I still liked it because she was sometimes just as dumb as him.
Well, to me though, me and Chess are in agreement, and it's not popular, so we're going to say it now.
Okay.
We did not like the Chandler and Monica thing because the characters changed after they got together.
Right.
Chandler came less funny. Monica came more like annoying.
Mm-hmm.
The characters.
Mm-hmm.
We think it should have ended. Monica got with Richard. Tom
Selleck.
Selleck.
Tom Selleck. Yep.
Chandler should have ended up with Janice.
Yes.
Should have.
Oh my God.
Ross and Rachel fine because that was like the start of it. Them getting in, and I liked how fine Phoebe getting with Paul Rudd, I guess.
Yeah.
You know. And Joey staying single is what Joey should have done because that's what he was, right?
I would have thought Joey and Phoebe gets together.
I don't know, but you can't make it's weird. But I mean, I think Chandler. People are gonna be listening to this shit and being like, "These fuckers are taking." But no, we did not like the characters took like a weird.
They did.
And they said originally, like the writers said that wasn't supposed to be a thing. Like the Chandler Monica thing was supposed to be like they hooked up in London, and it wasn't supposed to be like create a relationship. It was supposed to be like a hookup, awkward a little bit, and then they became friends again. But they said the fans liked it so much that they kept it going. And
I mean, I guess whatever.
To me, it just made because Chandler kept.
I love.
He kept ending back up with Janice over and over again,
right?
And that Janice character she knew how kind of like to handle him.
Mm-hmm.
And the Monica character seemed like she was the most natural and happy under, and it's Tom Selleck.
Right.
I mean,
I did like Tom Selleck there because all the guys started growing mustaches.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when they talk about like, obviously I've seen this a lot because I know a lot about and it's funny, like the first 5 seasons I'm like pretty good. We watched them, but I don't remember them as much. We don't like when we rewatch them now. We get to like season 5 and we kind of cut off.
Yep.
But like, because Tom Selleck started hanging out with Chandler and Joey.
Yep.
And they were looked up to him so much that Chandler's growing the mustache and Joey's has a cigar. And they're like, why didn't y'all both do a mustache? And he's like, well, figured if we both do them, we look stupid. And they're like, dodge that bullet. Because when Chandler first walks in, he's like, look, it's the artist. Formerly known as Chandler. No, first 5 seasons are great. I mean, I think it's a pretty good show. Did you ever watch when they did the reunion thing on HBO?
Did not watch that.
Man, it's good, but it's sad, and it's even sadder now watching it that Chandler done.
Right.
Because they were all there, but like, it's really good if you're a Friends fan.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time they had all got together in a long time, and it shows them at the beginning like they're going back to the sets.
Yeah, I was gonna say they walk through the sets,
and they're getting there one at a time.
Oh, really?
So one gets there first, and then the other one gets there, and they're all kind of getting there, and they all start talking. They're sitting around, they start talking about like, hey, I remember with Monica, this is where she hid her lines in the fruit bowl at the table and stuff like that. And Joey's like, I covered them up one time, and she got really pissed. And so they're telling stories like that.
Yeah.
So if you're a Friends episode, watch it. I mean, if you like Friends.
Yeah.
Because hell, Gunther, he was on it. That reunion thing. They got.
Oh, really?
He died of like cancer. Like
no shit.
Like a year after that.
Wow.
And then, like I said, when you watch it now, and Matthew Perry died, and you kind of can see how he struggled with like.
Well, he was in a bad way.
Oh, he struggled most of the show. He was doing pills and stuff.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like you could tell when he's really skinny, that's when he's
right
on it.
Yeah.
But that's when he was the funniest too.
Yes.
Like when you see him start gaining weight, he was getting off the pills and all that stuff.
Right. Trying to get clean.
Yeah, but he struggled with that bullshit that I guess it eventually killed him because he was what they said he was on. What was it he was on that made him drown?
I thought it was a pain medicine or something like that was given to him.
Yeah, it was medically, but I mean, he struggled with.
Gosh, damn.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, Ross was the most annoying because he was such a whiny. He had some funny moments. Don't get me wrong, but he was so.
Ross's, I think one of his best moments was when he was the host of the game show.
Yes, the best episode. So we have our favorite. Told you we're nerds, and we're really big because Chas got me into it, and she's always been a. Like we had the VHS. She had the VHS tapes.
Oh God!
Like the first 3 or 4 seasons, and our favorite episodes is the game. Is the
when they're
for the apartment.
They're playing for the apartment. Yep. You are ruining moving day.
When they're all getting ready. To go to they're all getting ready to go to a dinosaur thing for Ross, and that's when Joey don't want to give the seat because Chandler, and when he puts all Chandler's clothes
and
on,
Ross is getting pissed off because he's dressed in his tux, and Rachel doesn't want to go.
Yeah, because he pisses her off because she won't get ready, and so that's one of our favorite episodes. Those two were some of the ones that stand out where we really We watched them over and over again on VHS. That's when I was dating her, so whatever she wanted.
Of course.
But Audrey's into it. She loves Friends.
Good.
She started watching on that Max.
Yeah.
So she loves Friends too. So
I thought it was on Peacock.
it's on Max now.
Is it?
I think.
Okay. Either way, I have the same. I have it as well.
I've watched those shows.
Have you ever watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
God, that show's great.
So that's where this is from.
It's so. I've never really sat down and watched it like in order. I've seen like stuff. It is so insane,
dude. You have to watch that show. It is so good.
I need to start it
because it started out in just like a pilot season, and the same thing, 5 characters, and at first, Danny DeVito was not part of it.
Yeah. And
then somehow they got him to be a part of it because it was very low budget, very just they were making it basically on their own dime, and then like I think end of season 1, season 2, Danny DeVito comes in, and Danny DeVito's character
is so crazy.
Well, he comes in as Dee and Dennis's dad, and he's like in a suit. He's rich, and he decides he doesn't want to be rich anymore, and he's going to give all his money away to charity. And Dee and Dennis, which are 2 of the characters, and they're like, "What about us? We'll take your money. You don't give it, don't give it to charity. Give it to us. If you don't want it, we'll take it." Type of thing. We're your kids, and then his de-evolution, Frank, which is his name in his de-evolution. Him and Charlie are the greatest fucking characters.
The actor that plays Charlie, I love that dude. The first time I ever saw him was in like Horrible Bosses.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Greatness in that. I was like, this dude's funny as shit.
And he is, dude, his character.
Yeah, those 2 are the craziest.
I'm telling you right now, you need to watch It's Always Sunny. And I watch, like, as I go to sleep, it used to be, I would watch the Three Stooges. I've started watching It's Always Sunny. And before then it was, SpongeBob. And before then it was New Girl. And have you ever watched New Girl?
No.
Oh, fuck. Watch New Girl, dude.
Really?
Dude, it is fucking awesome.
The show we've been watching a lot, like especially like is Big Bang Theory.
So Tasha and I started watching that.
Which is good. It's very good.
We stopped because we have a bunch of our regular shows have like new seasons have come out. So but we'll go back to Big Bang.
We like Big Bang, and actually, Young Sheldon's pretty damn good.
Yeah. You've told me that one before.
That's Chance never watched it, but I did. I didn't watch it like currently. I think I watched it like the last season when it was like.
So you love Friends.
Yeah.
New Girl, it's not Friends, but it's the same. It's a bunch of friends that live together, but all these people live in the same apartment.
Kind of, yeah.
But it's the same, weird antics. I've never
watched anything.
Dude, so good. And love interest, within the friends.
Do you watch The Righteous Gemstones?
I was asked about that today. And I was like, oh yeah, I've seen it. Adam Sandler, I've seen it. And they're like, no. It's
Righteous Gemstones.
It's
John Goodman.
Danny.
So John Goodman is the monarch. He's the father.
But isn't Danny McBride in that? Okay, yeah.
So John Goodman's like the monarch, the father, and they're like the televangelists, like church people, right?
Yeah.
And his kids are Danny McBride and the dude from Pitch Perfect, Benji, the one that was like the.
Oh, Adam Devine.
He's one of his sons.
Okay.
And there's a lady that plays his daughter. They're all like, they're super pieces of shit. Like they're really rich from doing like church stuff, but they're really not. It kind of makes fun of the televangelists, like the people that were taking advantage of people.
Yeah.
And John Goodman's like the monarch, and these kids are those 3 kids, and they're spoiled like pieces of crap, but they're still trying to do like this church. It's insane though. Like.
Is that a new show?
It's on its 4th season now.
Okay.
It's supposed to be its last season. The 4th one just started. Man, you got to watch it. It is. If you're afraid of full frontal male nudity, don't watch it. Because there's quite a bit of pepes in the, like full on, like you're seeing it.
Just lots of dongs.
But it's wild. Like it is but it's so out there. There's a guy named Keith. His name's Keith. Not Keith.
Keith.
And he's best friends with Kelvin, who is the guy from Pitch Perfect. And Keith was when he first get introduced in the first season to him, he used to be a Satan worshiper that got saved. So now, he follows the church, and that's how he met Kelvin, and they're like best friends, which have a lot of undertone of homosexuality,
of course.
But Keith, to me, is he's so weird, and he's got tattoos still from when he was a Satanist, like 666 and Hell Satan and all this stuff. But he's like the most even though he's really weird, he's almost like the most pure because he really believes he was a Satanist that got saved, and he believes in God now, and he's best friends. He does basically anything for Kelvin he can. Like I said, very like they're in love, but that show was so out there. But it's a show you would, I think, dig. But get ready to be like, oh my God! Like the first episode, you're like, it's crazy.
Spartacus.
Great.
You watched that, right?
Love that show.
The guy that played Spartacus passed away
so the first
of
season,
cancer.
First season, the guy that played Spartacus, who was really great.
Dude, he was awesome.
And
he was...
Yeah.
Look, if you want to talk about getting gay, that guy was very good looking.
But he was great, and that's... it was a... Stars, I think.
Did it. It was on Stars.
And then he got sick, so that's why that...
There was a long gap between that and season 2.
That's why they did season 2 as a prequel.
Yeah, with a new guy.
Well, it was a prequel.
Right.
Before Spartacus. We need to do something because he was still fighting cancer.
Right.
They thought when he gets back, we'll do a season 3 of, but he died, so they had to cast a new guy to play Spartacus.
And he was still fine.
No, he was fine. He just wasn't.
But season 2 was very.
What was a prequel?
Very dong heavy.
Yeah. Well, it was a bunch of gladiator guys. There's no women around.
Dude, it was.
But season 1 is awesome.
Yeah, no,
the guy that played Crixus.
Yeah.
And no, it's really
it wasn't. Xena was.
She was the
what's her
Domina.
name?
She was Dominus. She was the lady of the house.
What's her name?
The
lady that played Lucy Lawless.
Lucy Lawless. She was,
which is a great name.
She was the lady of the house.
Dominus. Yeah,
the one the guy that owned the slaves. It was his wife.
Right? Yeah,
but no, those are.
That's such a great show. If you get a chance to watch that, also watch
Ultraviolet. A lot of nudity, so if you're not into that or you don't watch it at all, but very good show.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because Spartacus was a real person.
Right.
He was a slave that...
Allegedly.
I think he was real. I'm pretty sure he was.
And he won his freedom.
Well, I mean, he was a free man that became a slave, got put in the gladiator, got bought. Supposedly, you've seen gladiator stuff, but then he revolted because, they... I don't want to give away everything, but basically,
if you know the story of Spartacus,
basically the gladiators revolted and got escaped from captivity of being and had like a war with the Roman soldiers, slaves and gladiators, and were against the Romans to fight for their freedom.
Right.
Everybody pretty much dies.
Yeah,
It's wild. It was good.
It was so good, man.
3 seasons, but they're really good. And now I'm gonna pee.
Oh, well, we'll pause it because I also have to pee.
Good.
All right.
We're back.
We're back again.
Can you record again over there?
I never stopped it. So, yeah, Spartacus is a great show. There's a show that's been on for soon to be now. Season 3 is coming out April 2nd, I guess. Somewhere in April is coming out. There's a show. I got Facto to watch it. Facto loves it, I think.
Is the trader one?
No. It's a show called Love on the Spectrum.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
I remember you talking about that. No,
you haven't watched it? Dude, you got to watch that.
I think Chas watched the first season.
Did she like it?
Is that the autistic one?
Yeah.
Is that like the show or like the documentary?
No, it's a show.
Yeah, she watched like the first season, I think.
So Love on the Spectrum, it's people with autism, which I've asked what autism is, and it's not something you can just say, this is so
much.
Because, and they call it a spectrum for a reason.
Yeah.
Because there's many different ways that autism can be.
Yeah, there's some
can some not even be shown, but can be.
Will come off like normal people,
right?
But they're like on the spectrum of autism. So there's stuff that's a little off about them,
right? Or how they think, how they react.
There's like full autistic people that are nonverbal almost,
right. And it's like social awkwardness. There's just so many different ways it could be. But Love on the Spectrum. So the basic idea of it is that You have people with autism that want to find someone to be to be their partner, to love, so they're trying to find love, and it's love on the spectrum. So season 3 is about to come out, and I'm very damn excited.
Like real people?
Yeah.
It's not like a show.
No, it's like a dating show. Okay. It's literally like a dating show.
She watched a show that was like a show where the son like had autism.
Oh, that was called. Oh fuck! I remember because that had.
She watched that one.
Well,
there was some his parents were famous.
Both, yeah, Kira Sedgwick and
she watched that one.
I think it was Kira Sedgwick.
That's the one I'm thinking of. She watched that.
Maybe it was. No, I don't think it was Kira Sedgwick. But the dad, redheaded curly guy. God, I can't remember his name.
I know you're talking about.
Because he really likes penguins.
Yeah.
And he has a sister.
Yeah, she watched that show.
That was also a good show. I forget what that's called. It'll come to me in a minute.
I think it was Netflix or something.
Yeah.
No, I haven't
Atypical.
Yes,
it's called Atypical.
Yeah,
great show.
Yeah, she watched.
No, this isn't like a not
this
a real. It's not reality, but it's real people. Yeah, and so they're just trying to find, and they go on different dates with different people that also have autism. And it really kind of shows the difference in autism.
Yeah,
you'll have. There's one guy that was in the first season. I think his name was Mike. Tosh and I were just talking about this. He's only in season 1. So some of the people have been in season 1, season 2, and are going to be in season 3, which I like because now you can see kind of their evolution. Because a lot of them in season 1, they all live with their parents.
Yeah.
And then some of the ones that went from season 1 to season 2 now have started living on their own, still very close to their parents, but living on their own. And to see that evolution, because some of these people, you're like, the autism is so hard on them that they can't.
Yeah, they just
like maybe they will never be able to live on their own, which is sad.
But
but then it's them trying to find love and going on dates. And there was one guy that he went on a speed date, and in front of the person that he's talking to, and like he had to have his own list of questions, and so he's asking her questions, and he asked her something about, I don't know, do you like to be outdoors, or whatever the question was, and she was like, the lady, she was like, nope, and so he wrote no real big on his paper and right in front of her, and so they now they're doing like one-on-one interviews, and they're like, do you think that was a good idea to just write no right in front of her? And he's like, "Oh my God, I didn't think about that." I didn't realize that. Yeah, he didn't realize. And he goes, "Well, they're like, how do you think that made them feel to see that you wrote no?" Because they showed the girl see him write no, and she's like, "Oh God," like you could tell that she was upset by that, and now he's upset that she saw that, and it's just, but it's those, and it's not a show that I like because I'm making fun of. It is honestly like but it's a good show because. Like you grow as the show grows to love these people, and all you want them to do is to find someone.
They still deserve happiness
because they're like their niche. Some of these guys, they're like medieval. They're in love with medieval times, and that's how they dress, and that's how they like their whole room has medieval decorations, and that and so they'll come across people that are also into that stuff. Like he took them on, like this guy took them on a date to an old medieval castle. Because I think this show actually takes place over in Europe somewhere, So they go to medieval castle, and the girl was into it, but the girl he was with, like you look, the way she talks and the way, you're like, this guy, But they also talk about where he sits on the spectrum. I guess I don't know how to describe that very well. I'm terrible at that. But then this girl, she just seemed like a normal girl, but everybody on that show is on the spectrum.
Yeah, they have something,
right? And I'm like. And it just goes to show that you can't tell who is and who isn't on the spectrum.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, and what causes that spectrum to, then that's why it is a spectrum, but it's such a good show. And you grow, but the one guy, Michael from the season 1, like all I wanted to do was see him finally find, cause he went on 3, 4, 5 dates in that first season. And he just.
Not find anybody.
No, not, and I'm just like, I want a recap of what's happening with him now
because he hasn't been on the show.
No, he hadn't been on in 2. Not last season, and so far I haven't seen through all the trailers. He's not going to be on this new season. I'm like, dude, I want him to, because he was
Yeah, one of your favorites.
awkward.
Yeah.
But he was one of my favorites to watch, and I'm like, dude, just find
It would
love.
be
Like,
cool if all of a sudden he showed up on this list.
right. I hope so.
So speaking of, have you ever watched The Accountant movie?
No.
Man.
What
Ben
is it?
Affleck.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
So
I think I know what you're talking
the
about.
movie's pretty good. Pretty good movie. I like it a lot. And that's what Ben Affleck is, a guy that's on the spectrum of autism, but he's a great, like, super smart mathematician and everything.
Dustin Hoffman.
Kind of like that, but not. He's more like, he's not that bad social. Like, he can still
Function.
talk to people,
Yeah.
but it's all, But anyway, like, the show's about, like, there's a guy that they call the accountant, and he does, like, accounting for all, like, the most dangerous people in the world. They still need somebody to look at their books. Like, if you got, the guy's talking about, if you're one of the biggest drug dealers in the world or gun traffickers, but you think one of your guys is skimming, you still have to, who do you call to check? You can't call a normal accountant
To see. Yeah.
to check your books to find. So this is the guy they call. And end up, it's like Ben Affleck, and he's on the autistic spectrum, and it's really good. Like, it's got the girl from Pitch Perfect, the main girl.
Anna Kendrick.
She's in it. The guy that played, like, Shane in The Walking Dead, and he's the new Punisher, and
Okay. Yeah, I know who that is.
he's in it. What the hell's his name? You ever see Harry and the Hendersons?
Okay. Oh yeah.
The dad?
Oh yeah. The bald.
He's
Yeah.
in it.
Okay. God, he's got to be old now.
Yeah. But it's a great. I thought it was like a really good movie, like how they shot it and everything. Like, because he's not bad. Like, he does accounting for these people, but he basically spends all of his money, like, he launders it and everything because it's dirty money, but he throws a lot of it to, like, real donations and everything like that. And he's really awkward around people because he meets, like, Anna Kendrick, and she's, like, normal and trying to talk to him, and he's sent to this business to check the books.
Yeah.
And she's the one that found, like, the error, and she's trying to talk to him, and he's, like, being awkward, with their stuff. Ben Affleck does really good in it, like, but he's a badass too, because his dad, like, so his father was, like, a military guy, and when he found out his son had autism, he's like, we need to make you stronger. The world's mean. His dad's kind of a hard ass, like, you don't agree with a lot of stuff, but he like trained him as a kid, like, weapons, fighting, all that stuff, like.
Oh, okay.
So Ben Affleck's also a badass. Like, when dudes come after him, he knows how to handle himself.
One thing that I'm going to say learned. One thing that I've learned is that autistic people, they really hone in on something that they learn. They learn.
And they have to finish, like, if they're on, like, a task,
right?
They have to finish that task. And if they don't finish that task, it makes them lose their shit. So
if you teach them and they enjoy what they're being taught, so like you're saying, he taught them how to shoot guns and whatever.
He's excellent.
So they're going to be perfectionists at
and
that.
like so he's at
and they get upset if they're not perfectionists.
And like at one part, he gets called to check the books on this place, and he's it's pretty cool when you're watching it, but before he gets to finish, they say, we don't need you anymore, and he doesn't get to finish, like,
oh god.
And he's like, I have to finish. So you see, he starts, like, it messes with him big time. Like, I have to finish. He can't let it go.
Yeah.
And it leads into all kinds of crazy shit. You need to watch this great movie.
It's a movie though, right?
Yeah, it's called The Accountant.
Okay.
Trailer just came out. They're doing An Accountant 2.
Oh, no shit.
Which a lot of people's been, because this show came out, like, I think this movie came out, like, I have no idea, but I would think 10 years ago, easy.
What's it on? Do you know, like, what streaming service?
Well, I have a phone.
Amazon.
Look.
HBO. I would assume.
I love the movie. Anytime it's one of the movies that anytime it's on, I'll watch it. That's what I think. Ben Affleck's a little bit underrated as an actor. People give him, because he was the pretty boy kind of. I think he's
a good actor.
According to this, it's on Amazon Prime, YouTube, Hulu.
Perfect.
Great movie. Love it.
Perfect.
Watch it.
I'll have to watch it.
I highly recommend it. It's very good. Great cast too. Like I said, the people I just named,
Yeah.
like they're awesome.
But also the Pitch Perfect movies I love. I don't know why.
We watched the first one a bunch because the girls were like, it came out that in their age. And the first movie's great.
Yeah.
And I think I've watched the second one.
The third one is dumb, but I still watch it.
Yeah. But the first one's the only one I've really like watched.
Number 2 I also love.
I've seen it, but I kind of remember it like the
2 is where they go to Germany.
The German, they were the badasses. And, but the first one I thought was pretty good. The girls were obsessed with it.
No, I love it.
But no, watch The Accountant. Do it. Do it now.
Do it.
And I'll watch. I guess Always Sunny I've been wanting to watch anyway.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. No, I love it. You brought something for us.
Yes. Okay. So I was at the store buying the beer.
Talking about a guy that loves snacks.
Yes. And I saw these Doritos sitting there, and it said late night loaded taco.
Okay.
I was like, awesome. Let's try it.
A loaded taco Dorito.
Loaded taco Dorito.
Okay.
So grab your one out there, and we'll just see what it tastes like. I'm catching it. The meat, the shell.
Well, the shell's a chip.
No, but I'm like
You can taste.
I got lettuce.
You can taste it.
Loaded taco, I don't know, but
No, I'm good.
good.
You can taste the taco seasoning, the meat part of it.
Like I said, the shell's a shell.
I kind of see where you're talking about lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm fucking
those are
digging.
those are. I mean, those are good. Don't get me wrong. No, I'm good.
Mm.
Tastes good. Of course, you haven't stopped.
I'm digging it.
That's a.
It's even got the cheese hint.
Mm-hmm. No, I taste it. It's
I
good.
don't know about loaded taco. But it
Just tastes like a taco.
Tastes like a taco.
Yeah, I get where they're at. I'm not mad at it. I'll tell you that.
I'm really
I'm not mad at it at all.
I'm really liking that.
No, I'm all in on it. I'll take one while you're there, if you don't mind. If you don't mind.
What a lush. Yeah, so digging that funky seed right there.
I like it.
I'm in. Oh, goddamn, the AC kicked on. All right, so what else? Draft's coming up.
Draft is coming up.
Doing my research, getting ready.
Are you?
Yep.
Okay.
So the Cowboys will keep this brief.
They picked some stuff up though, right?
They picked up some, and so when the free agency started, they cleared a lot of salary cap space,
Right.
which made you think, "Hey, they're going to do something," because they cleared like 50-something million, and they picked up some players, but they're mostly just like they're not starters so much. They're filling gap. A lot of them were like first round guys that were drafted in the first round that never really added up.
Right.
Picked up a couple of running backs.
Mm-hmm.
All of them were high draft picks that maybe haven't quite like lived up to their hype, but they're not old. They're like a lot of younger guys.
What happened to we're going to pick up Cooper Kupp?
Yeah,
But then that didn't happen at all.
I don't know. I was really wanting them.
Dude, that would have been an awesome offense.
Yeah. Kupp's just I can see why you might be scared of him because of his injuries, but boy, when he's healthy. So they cleared all that salary cap space, and they still have like 40-something million just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, why did you clear all this space? Because all you're doing is kicking money down the road pretty much to pay later.
Right.
If you're not going to sign at
People
least
now?
one big guy,
Right.
one big player, why did you do that? It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need it for the draft. You're playing rookie contracts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's still hope. I'm hoping they sign a receiver before the draft starts. You still got Amari Cooper's out there. I'd take him back. Diggs.
Stephon.
He's still out there.
Mhm.
His brother plays for us.
Right. Well, his brother was trying to get him to come here before he went to
Buffalo. And there was one more. Oh, Keenan Allen, who I really like. He's getting older. He had like 10 touchdowns last year with Chicago in that horrible. Give me something. Because right now, if the draft started tomorrow, they got a lot of holes to fill.
What do you think about the conspiracy theory that Jerry Jones wants to just lose out the season to get first round pick, like first number 1 pick, and pick up Arch Manning next year?
I don't know, man.
Because there's no way he's going to get Shador.
No, and Shador is good and all, but he's got some question marks. Which, hey, if he fell at 12 and they did take him, I can't be too mad at it because he's supposed to be like top 5 pick. Like he's not going to fall.
Yeah.
The only way if the Cowboys really want, they'd have to trade up to get him.
Right.
Which I don't know if he's that good.
Okay.
He's a good quarterback. Borderline number 2. I like a guy at Ole Miss named Dart, who I think's a pretty good quarterback too.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Cowboys like traded everything away to jump up and get Shador Sanders, I'd be so fucking mad because I don't think he's that guy.
They did pick up a running back though, right?
Yeah, they picked up 2. They picked up Williams, who was out of Denver. He was a number 1 draft pick from North Carolina, I do believe.
Mm-hmm.
We really liked him. He's had injury problems, so he could develop into something. And they picked up Sanders. He was a running back. He played for Philly a couple of years. Decent.
Dion?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're both realistically they'd be really good number 2s. You still don't have that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So everybody's thinking Genty out of Boise State. He's the man. He's like the generational running back that's going to be like everybody's slotting him.
He's the one that
12.
didn't run the 40 and all that stuff.
He don't have to because he's like everybody knows he's number 1.
Yeah.
Freak. He's great. So everybody's slotting that too. Like Cowboys at 12 are taking Genty if he's there. It's like no brainer. Who the fuck knows, right? He could not fall at 12. I do think the running backs are really deep in this draft. I think you can get really good value in the 2nd and 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a 4th round pick. Again,
Mm-hmm.
we do have like 3 5s and 3 6s.
Mm-hmm.
I would use those and get back in that 4th because, in my opinion, after the 4th round, the talent really drops off.
Right.
And if they don't have a receiver by that point, you have to fill a running back role, a receiver role, an offensive lineman role probably,
Yep.
and a pass rusher.
But honestly, offensive linemen, I mean,
and a pass rusher, you have to fill 4 roles, and we have
so think
3. We have 3, 1, 2, and 3. We have no 4th.
a lot of like the Cowboys have in the past taken offensive linemen first, right?
Yeah, they have.
And they've taken defensive linemen 1st, which I get it. You need those guys.
Well, I mean,
But you
they
can
always
still-
say the
but-
battle's won in the trenches.
Right.
So,
When did they take Taco Charleston?
God, don't even bring
When did they take him?
God, that was probably
I mean, like what round?
first round.
First round.
It was the worst, one of the worst picks, if
So-
not the worst pick they ever made.
First round pick.
Horrible pick. When they picked it, I knew it was horrible.
But you can take those guys.
No, they reached on Taco. It was what's scary.
What I'm saying is you can take those guys. 3rd round,
He could have
4th round,
that talent.
5th round.
If you're drafting a defensive lineman
Right.
in the 1st, he's elite. He's like a Parsons, right? Like he's a.
Yeah.
When they drafted him, I was so mad because TJ. Guess what? You ever heard of TJ Watt?
Never heard of her.
He was still on the board, and he went like a pick later or a couple picks after us. They could have had TJ Watt, and they picked Taco for. And when they did it, that's when I saw my uncle flip over the chair because we didn't like the guy. To me, his film wasn't that good. We had him rated as like a 3rd round pick, and they picked him in the 1st. And TJ Watt was sitting there.
But what I'm saying is you can those guys you can pick up.
No, they better be elite freaks.
They've got to be the best.
Yeah.
And when they come on that field, they've got to be the
No,
best
they're-
thing you pick up.
they're-
But the Cowboys have never picked that
Well,
guy.
Parsons was.
Okay.
He was a freak.
But the Cowboys rarely pick that guy. When they pick that guy, he's a flop.
It's hit or like if you look at a lot of teams, first round's hit or miss. They have had some weird, like that taco thing made no sense to me. I don't know where that came from.
I don't either.
But
they just liked his name, I would assume.
But they hit with Parsons. They hit with CeeDee Lamb. They've maybe reached on a few old linemen.
Right. But what I'm saying is that I'm sure there's a ton of old linemen in there in the draft that you could get third round, fourth round.
But at 12, you're picking 12. We're
Right.
picking 12. There's going to be elite players there.
Right.
Right now, it'd be pretty hard for them to fuck up that pick
Well,
because they have so many holes. Right? They're going to get, if they draft anybody that's supposed to be a top 12 player, and somebody always falls, and somebody always goes earlier than you think.
right.
But if they draft, it's hard to mess up that pick. They
Watch.
could.
Watch.
They could.
Watch.
So I'm preparing myself that if Genty's there, because I think the best thing for the Cowboys would be to have a really strong running game. Look what Philly did.
Mm-hmm.
They picked up Barkley, got the best offensive line, and they won a Super Bowl with it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the best thing that could happen was get that running game. I mean, in the 90s, they had great players, but they had the best offensive line that Emmitt Smith ran behind, and they just pounded, and that frees up everything. Play action, all this. Get the running game going.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm preparing myself in case Genty's there and they pass on him, and they take like an offensive lineman that's supposed to go top 10 fail, and they take him because I know the running backs are so deep that they can get a really, really good one in the second.
Mm-hmm.
Not Genty, but pretty good ones. Okay, but if they... I don't know why. But anyway, I like the draft anyway.
This is in April, right?
Yeah, April 24th. I like the draft anyway, just for really, we love the draft because me and my uncle and my cousin get together. We've always done it. We did it when the draft wasn't popular,
Mm-hmm.
when it wasn't on TV, when all you could find was a newspaper that had the top 5.
Oh, yeah. In each position.
That's it. That's all there
Yeah.
was. There was no magazines. There was no coverage on TV. Now it's a huge deal.
But y'all watch so much college that you know all these people.
Well,
and you do your research.
I watch a lot of college, but my uncle is a different level.
Right.
And he's become like, he was always in, but now he's like
a savant.
He will watch video on players. When the time the draft starts, he will have watched video on 300 players at least.
Oh my God.
And he always we call it the spiral notebook. He has a spiral notebook that's laid out each position on everybody that he's watched.
Oh my God.
Ranked his rankings, not the rankings. And that's what we go by. When a player gets picked, we find it and we mark it off. And we mark it off. And we mark it off.
Oh my God.
He has notes on like he does like pretty much what an NFL scout does. He does it for fun. Like
Good Lord.
I'm into it, but I don't watch like video on every player.
Right.
I got players I like and do a little research and stuff, and we have fun when we get together. We cook food, we drink beer, we watch the draft.
Right.
He is. The older he gets, the more hardcore he gets because he's like, I'm an old man. This is all I got.
Right.
This is like his Christmas. Right. It's just getting together with the boys, and we have fun with it. We have a great time. We call it the draft day extravaganza.
But it's 3 days.
3 days now. It used to be Saturday and Sunday. All day Saturday, all day Sunday.
Right.
Then they switched it, so Thursday is the first round.
Yep.
Friday is Friday night, second and third, and then all the rest is on Saturday.
Right.
So,
Jesus Christ.
But we have fun. We cook food, and we hang out, and we drink beer, and we're watching it. And we've been excited and pissed, and like my uncle was telling me this year, he's just trying to be like, he just tries to enjoy hanging out with us.
Mm-hmm.
We have fun watching the draft. If the Cowboys make a pick he don't like, he tries not to get. We try not to get. Who cares?
He after last year, he was like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just here to enjoy the fellowship,
and he stuck to it.
I'm here to enjoy the fellowship.
Did you ever see him have big outbursts when we were losing? I mean, the huge ones.
No,
but you don't know his huge ones. Like,
I haven't seen huge ones.
But you got to remember, he grew up, so he remembers the '70 Cowboys.
Right.
He remembers the '90 Cowboys.
Right.
And who would have thought we'd go almost 30 years
with nothing?
I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
The last time they won a Super Bowl.
Well.
So we just tried just to enjoy like the draft fun and not so much focus on the Cowboys, right? Just like, oh, I like that player. Oh, that's a good pick. Like, oh, yeah, I really like that guy. And if the Cowboys happen to draft a dude that we really liked, or like one of us is like, oh, that's what we call pet cats, is what we call. So a pet cat is like, in draft lingo for us, is he's not a guy that everybody knows about, but he's a guy that you really liked. Like, my pet cat is this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's my pet cat. And if the Cowboys happen to draft, like, one of your pet cats, like, later, like Ferguson was one of my pet cats.
Yeah.
Tied in. And they just, there was no ties to him because rumors come out about, oh, they like this player, blah, blah.
Yep.
And they just draft Ferguson out of nowhere. And I was like, Kenny came out and said they draft Ferguson.
It's one of your pet cats.
I saw him, they drafted pet cat. And like Kenny's ultimate pet cat was Dak, right? He followed Dak all through college. How much you love him. And, you know, they drafted Zeke in the first round there, which, when they drafted him was a good, I mean, Zeke was good when he was pretty badass for his first, years here. But you go back, you don't believe me? Go back and watch Zeke with the Cowboys.
Yeah, no.
He was a beast.
Right.
And he was a beast, so we were fine with that draft pick. Right? It was like fourth or something.
Right.
And then in the fourth round of that same draft, they drafted Dak. Kenny lost it, hugging people, everything. Because it's kind of cool. Like, he followed this guy. The reason why I knew about Dak was my uncle. He followed this guy's whole college career. Who had a good college career. Great college career at Mississippi State.
Yeah, the best.
He beat Bama and everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
And so he was just a guy that Kenny followed.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cowboys drafted him in the fourth round. His rookie season.
How does he love him now?
He still loves. He'll die on that sword. Bromo gets hurt his rookie season. Dak comes in. They go 13-3.
Mm-hmm.
They win a playoff game, and they basically lose to Green Bay, not by Dak, but by our defense giving up a third and like 30 to freaking Rodgers.
Remember when you said we're not going to stay on this long?
Yeah, I can't help it. I get it. But anyway, it's kind of fun. It's coming. So
you're like, we'll just go through this real quick. 40 minutes later.
But you should come out and you can edit whatever you want out of this.
No, I won't edit any of this.
No, but you like I said, don't focus so much on the draft as like just hanging out.
No, right? I'm with you 100%.
That's what we're more focused on is the draft's fun. We're into it. It's fun. We are into it more because of my uncle.
Right.
He's always been into it. He's the one that got us into it, and we just enjoy hanging out. We cook food. Family members come over.
Right.
And we just eat food and drink beer and watch draft and hang out and
talk
after
shit.
The draft's over, we
cussing and discussing.
We hang out later.
Right.
And with the draft on Thursday being Thursday night and the draft on Friday being Friday night, it's kind of funner now because we'll get together and go to refs or something for a while before the draft starts and just hang out, stuff like that.
Okay.
And now with the new meat market thing, I'm excited about that. The Mexican meat market, we're going to go in there because Brad loves the Mexican meat market more than anybody. And he hasn't got to go in there yet. And I said, man, this draft, because we buy like a bunch of meat.
Yeah.
We always buy way too much
food.
Like just crazy.
Right.
Like most of the draft, we have outdoor TVs going, and I'm usually at the grill like
watching while you're cooking.
Yeah. And I enjoy it, so it's fun.
Let me ask you a question. So I've thought about it, but then I was watching some videos and kind of going through old music and not just music, but movies and TV shows. And what do you think if you had to go back to a decade to live in?
Ooh.
So for us, it's not a whole lot for us.
I mean, if we go back to a decade that we did live in,
80s or 90s, which one do you want to live in?
To me, it's close. Right?
I agree.
It's good. It's 80s were badass. The music.
I still love the music. The 80s music I love. I fucking love 80s
what
music.
people were dressing
The
in.
big hair for the women.
Movies were great.
Yes.
Back to the Future.
Mannequin.
Jaws.
Yeah.
I mean, classics.
Right.
90s were pretty badass too.
Dude, I love the 90s.
I mean, 90s alternative music, which probably what I listen to the most of is 90s rock and everything like that.
So I was born in the 80s. You were born in the 80s. I was born in 80. You were 81.
We grew up the exact same way.
Right.
Through the same shit.
100%. And while the 80s were cool, I think the 90s was my childhood.
Well, we were young, right? Like
we are young.
But I mean, another great 80s. I think the 80s music-wise wins.
Mm-hmm.
Just cause
I don't know if the 80s wins.
I don't know because we had that. Remember, we had that podcast when I said was 1980 something.
84 or whatever.
Decade,
yeah,
I mean Thriller and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Michael Jackson in his prime.
But there's so much good 90s music.
You know, it's hard for me to pick.
Right.
And the movies, though, man, the 90s are going to mean more to us because we were older.
Right.
So we're going to remember more and how it.
But the 80s
us.
has Never Ending Story, which I fucking love.
No, I mean, Goonies.
Yeah, Goonies. Oh, God. So good.
Come on. They keep talking about
The Lost Boys.
God. Best vampire movie ever made, people. I'll die on that sword. That's the best vampire movie
The
ever
Lost
made.
Boys?
Yes.
I asked my son and my daughter, I go, have y'all seen The Lost Boys? And they're like, what is that? I don't know what that is.
No.
And I try to start explaining to them, and they're like, no,
you gotta
thank
watch
you.
it.
No,
it's the best vampire movie ever made, in my opinion.
So
Kiefer
good.
Sutherland, that was
Right.
just greatness.
Right.
That's David, the ultimate villain, but you liked him at the same way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Greatness. No, it's hard to pick.
I still think I might go 90s, just because that was
It
was my
It meant more to us because we were becoming young guys to men.
young
in that
Boys to Men
era. Yeah, boys to men. Yeah,
ABC BBD.
90s boys to men. Really, I mean, they might have started in the late, but I think the 90s was the
Right.
No, it's because me and Chess love 80s music too. But 90s prime country.
Oh, see, but 80s country too, though, man.
Oh yeah, it was
Fucking
good.
80s country.
But 90s prime country world, just for some reason, whenever I hear like Black Hawk or Black Hawk, or anything like
Diamond Rio,
like Garth Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
Even though George Strait, 80s and 90s, the dude
Right.
was just king everywhere. I mean,
King George, man.
people don't want to say like, I watched a stupid TikTok video where this guy's at a country music concert before they're tailgating. He's asking these stupid kids that look like they were probably like Tristan's age.
Mm-hmm.
First guy, who's the greatest country singer of all time? I can't even almost.
Kane Brown.
He says, who does he say? One guy said, the Hootie and the Blowfish singer.
Oh, Darius Rucker.
Greatest country singer of all time.
I do like his country
No,
music.
it's the greatest country singer.
No,
No,
absolutely not.
And then this girl says, what's his name? With the mullet. That he's good, but
With the mullet.
the new, I mean, he's.
Oh, Morgan Wallen?
Yeah. Of course, the girl says him.
Of
And
course.
what did that guy had that first one that guy said, I was like, I wanted to. Oh, he said Kenny Chesney.
Well, I mean, I love Kenny Chesney's
But the
song.
greatest.
Not the greatest, no.
None of them. George Strait, Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson.
But you're missing a bunch of them.
No, but I'm just throwing out. I mean, Ronnie Millsap, who
Conway
were just singing
Twitty.
earlier,
I mean,
Conway.
Uncle
Conway, by the way.
Uncle. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot you talked
No,
about that.
my grandma. They're like,
yeah, you
they're
told
second.
me.
He's a Jenkins. Look
Yeah.
up his name. His real name's Jenkins. My grandma was like second. He never had. They never met him or anything.
Okay, so from your childhood, and so I wanted you to kind of get to thinking about those errors
All right.
in your childhood. Can you list the top 5 cartoons you watched in your
My
childhood?
favorite.
Yeah, your top 5.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Maybe my.
But that was like late 80s, early 90s?
Yeah, probably somewhere around there.
Right.
Loved the Ninja
Ninja
Turtles.
Turtles were awesome.
Might have been my favorite.
Right.
Love Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Transformers maybe were
God,
in there. Man,
yes,
I love Transformers.
abso-fucking-lutely.
Love Transformers.
Yep.
We're going cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I really enjoyed the Looney Tunes, like all the Bugs Bunny and all this
Dude,
stuff.
I'm with
They
you.
got to go in there.
I'm right there with you.
That's Elmer Fudd and everybody. You know?
Yep.
They even had movies.
Right.
There's a bunch going through my head.
Tom and Jerry.
I liked it. I wouldn't put it in my top
Okay,
5.
I'm trying to help you refresh.
No, I wouldn't put it in
G.I. Joe.
Yes.
Would that be in top 5?
Yes.
Smurfs.
No.
I'm just trying to help you think.
No, I'm debating in my head. So far I have Ninja Turtles, Transformers,
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. Man. Ooh, there's a bunch coming in the mind.
He-Man.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
He-Man's got to be there, right?
Yep. He-Man's got to. I had so many He-Man toys bought from garage sales.
Oh, my God.
By the way.
Yeah.
All my shit was all my toys was bought from garage sales.
Who gives a shit?
And they were
You
great.
had toys.
So I'm debating the last one.
Just because there's... But so...
I have so many that are...
Most of those were 90s. I mean, I'm sorry, 80s. Now, Looney Tunes was even earlier than that.
Oh, man, 60s.
Right, yeah.
But they still played them all the time.
But you can go into to the 90s. So I don't want you to start...
No,
I want you to think about 90s.
I'm thinking of
Bobby's World,
No.
Recess,
No.
Hey Arnold,
No.
Doug.
No. Never watched any of that shit. Didn't interest me at all.
Really?
I will say this, and I'll die on this sword. The Doug cartoon
I wasn't a fan of it.
is the most overrated shit. And when I see videos of people always ranking it so high, it was...
Cat Dog.
Nope.
Yeah, so a lot of that was like Nickelodeon.
And it was I think it was a little past us. I think we were a little old for it.
We were, but I'm just trying to get you kind of into the 90s as well. Where Ninja Turtles was there. Inspector Gadget.
I loved Inspector Gadget.
Loved
he wouldn't
it.
go top 5. Pink
Garfield.
Panther. Garfield was pretty...
Heathcliff.
Heathcliff was pretty awesome. DuckTales.
DuckTales.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Right.
But I'm trying to think what I'll watch the most. Like if I could sit there and what's going to get my 5th pick. Because that's important.
Right. I'm with you.
Ugh. I got you tell yours because I got to think about the 5th one.
So I'm right there. So you said G.I. Joe,
Yes.
and I did, and I kind of G.I. Joe was great. I had a lot of G.I. Joe toys.
So did I. That's why it meant so much.
I wouldn't put that in the top 5.
said
It would land top 10.
Thundercats.
Thundercats is in my
Voltron.
top 5. Who?
Voltron.
Oh, Voltron.
That was pretty good.
Voltron
That
was
was like
good.
what Power Rangers stole from, right?
Right.
Not
I
my
would,
top 5, but that was good.
I would go Looney Tunes as my number 1.
Yes, Looney Tunes is just.
Looney Tunes
there
is
was so many good stuff.
And there's so
And
much.
I tried to get my girls to watch it when they were younger.
And there's so much that they don't show anymore.
No, because it's politically incorrect.
Yeah.
Right?
But Looney Tunes, because back when we were growing up, they showed it all.
One of my favorite shirts was I had a shirt that had Elmer Fudd,
Mm-hmm.
but he was dressed as Rambo,
Oh, yeah.
and it said Wambo on it. That's one of my favorite shirts ever.
So Looney Tunes is going to be number 1 for
Looney
me.
Tunes is in there. For sure.
Transformers.
Yes. G.I. Joe in there?
No, G.I. Joe's not my top
Because
5.
the toys, more toys than the cartoon.
Right.
Which
I was
could-
more interested in the
I can
toys than the
understand
cartoon.
that. I had so many G.I. Joes.
Yeah. He-Man.
For sure.
I'm going to
Ninja
put...
Turtles ain't in there?
Did I say Transformers already?
Yeah.
Okay, Ninja Turtles.
That's my number 1.
Which and Ninja Turtles is another one where I love the show so much, and I watched. I mean, and I had all the toys.
No, yeah.
Like-
but my number 1 cartoon Ninja Turtles.
I'm going to throw one out. I'm going
And
to throw a
that
little.
first movie that came out, it was so bad.
I'm going to throw a little loop-de-loop in with you. And while I was older when I started watching this, SpongeBob, which SpongeBob may be number 1, and that's that is a hard one for me to put at number 5 because really, like, the 1 through 4 are like I grew up watching. SpongeBob is something that I still watch.
You watched it
even now.
kids, right?
No, I started watching it myself.
I hate that.
I love it
Every time
so
it's on,
much.
It annoys me so
I love
much.
it so much.
No, I hate it so much.
But it's hard for me to put that one at number 5. Just because Recess was a great show for me. And the reason why I loved Recess was because it played to the hierarchy when we were in school. Because that show was on while we were in school. But it played and it kind of made a big joke out of These are the jocks. These are the
Yeah, I
cheerleaders.
never
These
really
are the
watched it.
smart. Oh God, it's such a. I was watching it one night going to sleep and laughing.
Like I said, some people will say like The Simpsons, which they've been around for
Love
a
The
while.
Simpsons.
I don't watch it, but I'm
Love
not.
'em.
I'm not top 5.
Family Guy.
Yeah.
I love Family
But not
Guy.
top 5.
I wouldn't put it as a top 5 cartoon for me.
No. I'm trying to. Man, I don't know what would be my.
People like Futurama. I was never a fan
It
of
was
Futurama.
okay. There's nothing.
American Dad, another one, but that's all kind of the same.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
Family Guy.
yeah. And then plus that's all when when I'm thinking in my head is like top 5 cartoons is what I watched when I was a kid.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
but
not
Tom and Jerry's another hard one for
yeah.
me not to put in top 5.
Roadrunner, which I guess that falls.
Well,
under
that's Looney Tunes.
So that's why Looney Tunes has to be. Like I agree with your number 1 because there was it.
Well,
took up so
Looney
much.
Tunes was
I love Scooby Doo.
I never liked Scooby Doo.
I like Scooby Doo.
I didn't even watch the movies. That's how much I didn't like Scooby Doo.
I didn't watch the movies, but I loved Scooby Doo as a kid. Captain Caveman.
Oh, that's another one. So any Hanna-Barbera, which was the Flintstones, love them. The Flintstones,
Jetson.
the Jetsons,
Oh,
the
Flintstones.
Droopy
Deputy Dog.
Deputy Dog. Yeah,
Snagglepuss.
yeah. I liked watching
Pink
them.
Panther was.
Yeah, I liked watching them.
Anteater.
But
No.
I just wouldn't put those as a top 5.
Man, I'm having a hard time with my 5th. I think you are too.
No,
Did
I
you
had
say 5?
SpongeBob was my number 5.
You can't put that at 5.
I absolutely will.
Okay.
Because every one of those shows I would watch today.
Let me
All those other ones, like I'll watch randomly, but I would not sit and watch every one of the Flintstones may be a close number 5.
Like I said, Flintstones was up there. I remember watching, and I remember watching the Jetsons a bunch too.
I did like the Jetsons, and then they did the crossover Jetsons
Yeah,
Flintstones.
yeah. Thinking, trying to think like in my head, sitting down watching.
Well, I gotta go.
What
pee.
I was most
Keep thinking. I gotta go pee.
What I was most glued into. Oh yeah. Okay. Duh. I got it. I had to do a little research, but I got it. So I was about to say DuckTales because I really liked that one.
I also love
I
DuckTales.
was about to Chippendale Rescue Ranger. I really
Loved
liked
them.
that one.
Loved them.
But the original first Batman animated series.
Oh, dude, that was yeah. So I was
going
gonna bring that one up
that's
too.
my number 5.
Dude,
when
that
I saw
one
it, I
was
was like,
so
of course, I
good.
watched that so much. That's what
It was so good. I would not put it top 5,
The-
but it was so.
the
It would be
original-
top 10.
the original Batman animated. Because, like I said,
Yeah.
that I really enjoyed that show.
Well, then there was like Gargoyles. You remember that one?
Yeah, I like that.
Gargoyles,
That was
great
good.
show.
Yeah.
That was along that. It was. I think that was the
Well,
same
look,
company that
So
made.
I'm looking at this is what I had to cheat on. So I was like, oh. So it says right here. First one was when I saw Batman. I was like, of course,
Yes,
I loved it.
Batman the animated series. They like
Then it says Gargoyles. This
Yeah.
is Spider-Man.
never was a
um,
fan.
Dexter's Laboratory.
Never was a fan.
Oh wait, changed my mind.
Okay.
This was the one I was thinking of earlier, and then it blanked out my head. It's not Batman. Which I respect, Batman. You got 6. You just got bumped. X-Men.
Oh God. Oh, I forgot about X-Men.
I was obsessed with that show in like 91, I think.
Dude.
Best. The X-Men.
How sad is it that we know the theme song for it?
No, X-Men for sure is my 5th.
That's gonna be top 10 for me, but it's not.
X-Men.
It's not 1 through 5.
X-Men bump Batman.
Dude, that was so good.
Man, that was
What else you got on that list?
Pink in the Brain.
Oh God, Animaniacs though. That's just Animaniacs, and I almost put that at number 5.
Not quite. I think it's because when that came out, we were a little older.
I still loved it.
I
I
mean-
would come home from school and watch it.
The stuff that means more to me is I almost put Beavis and Butthead in there.
Yeah, but that was again. I didn't grow up. Growing up, I didn't have cable, so I just had whatever we could get on the antenna. That's why I didn't watch Saved by the Bell.
Here we go.
That's why I didn't watch Beavis and Butthead.
Tiny Toons, I remember that one. Bobby's World, me.
I love Bobby's World. Love Tiny Toons.
Tailspin.
Mm-hmm.
Ren and Stimpy.
I like but again, that was
Darkwing
another one.
Duck,
Yep.
Rugrats.
Mm-hmm.
Batman
Love
Animated
Rugrats.
Series, X-Men. Animaniacs.
Yep.
Beavis and Butthead. Stupid Dogs.
Loves. Yep. 2 Stupid Dogs.
This one just says...
2 Stupid Dogs.
Never watched it.
Loved it.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Gargoyles, which that was pretty good.
Yep.
Spider-Man, everybody talks about that. And I don't really remember it that much.
I do, but I was not a fan of Spider-Man
Tick.
anyway. I love it. Spoon. I love the Tick.
Pinky and the Brain.
Yep.
Freakazoid, don't know what that is.
Yep. I loved it.
Cow and Chicken, never watched it.
Loved it.
Dexter's Laboratory, Hey Arnold, Arthur.
Arthur was another one I wasn't a big fan of. Arthur was the football.
Johnny Bravo.
Never watched it.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
Daria, remember she was like
Oh, Daria.
They always call it
Yeah.
Diarrhea.
Yeah. Never watched it.
King of the Hill.
Never.
South Park.
It was okay.
Powderpuff Girls, never watched it. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Never watched it.
So I wonder if
Ed, and Eddie. I always hear people talk about that one. I never watched it.
I wonder if we were to ask girls the same question.
No, it's not going to
Well,
be.
would they put She-Ra in there? My Little Pony.
My Jody would put My Little Pony in there. My younger sister,
Yeah.
definitely. SpongeBob. I hate that show.
Like She-Ra, she was He-Man's cousin or something like that.
Some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
And they revamped them. Okay, here we go. Here's a list.
You got another list? Is all the same stuff?
I'm just seeing if there's anything new that
Oh,
pops
no.
in the brain.
Probably not.
No, yeah, X-Men. I was.
I completely forgot about that one as
See
well.
that Recess? I'd never really watched.
Dude, it was great. I mean, if you again any of these shows that you watch today, they're not going to hold up. Like 80s movies don't hold up today. You know, you go watch anything.
Back to the Future.
Well, some of them hold up, but most of them don't hold
Jaws.
up.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but the
Those
kids
are all holding up to me.
for you, but let the kids
Yeah.
watch them. And are they going to hold up for the kids?
I can't believe I forgot about X-Men. I mean that might need to jump even up the list. I mean, I really
Higher than 5?
I really loved
I
X-Men.
watched it. Yeah, absolutely. And when did you watch cartoons?
Well, I mean, Saturday morning was the OG. Right?
Yeah.
That's when we
100%.
we knew every Saturday morning. Ninja Turtles will always be my number one.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, that show
Loved it,
For some reason, I was just obsessed with
but it was Saturday morning or
All I remember
when you
saying-
get home from school.
Yeah, I mean, but
Get home from school.
I watched a lot of shows with my dad. So, like, when I get home from school,
Knight Rider, Magnum PI,
the two main ones were like,
the A Team.
yeah, that was good. When I got home from school, when I got a little older, like junior high,
Mm-hmm.
I would get home, and my dad would get home about the same time, and we would watch MacGyver,
Mm-hmm. MacGruber.
and then we'd watch Quantum Leap.
Oh God!
For some reason, they just came on at that time.
Wow.
MacGyver's greatness. I will still watch MacGyver.
Never watched it.
Great movie. I mean, great show. Quantum Leap, it had its moment, but they tried to redo it. Both of them, actually.
Yep.
But Quantum Leap was like about a guy that he entered some. It's in the future time travel thing,
Mm-hmm.
but he would jump in bodies of that time. So he would just bounce from different times, but when he'd land in that time, he'd be in a person's body of that time era.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd look like them and everything to everybody else, and he'd have to like figure out why he was there. And once he figured out why he was there and objected the goal, then he'd leap to something else. But he was just constantly leaping, trying to get back home.
Oh, okay.
somewhere. So that was Quantum Leap. MacGyver, everybody knows what MacGyver is.
Yeah.
He could do anything.
Before we leave, unless you have anything else,
I think that's it.
best show to watch when you stayed home sick.
Well,
Because there wasn't a whole lot on daytime TV
that's
other than like stories,
that's when I would watch
Days of Our
like,
Lives and stuff like. There was one show that every time I stayed home, and I think it came on at 10 o'clock. When I stayed home sick, this was a show I watched
Jerry
every.
Springer
Nope.
was on there a
Yeah,
bunch.
yeah.
You know,
Sally Jesse Raphael. Yeah.
Jerry Springer was the one I remember watching.
But then they started coming on at night.
Yeah, but I remember during the day, a lot of game shows.
Yeah. Getting warmer.
Price is Right
That's the one.
is the one.
That's-
Probably 10 o'clock's when it came on.
Yeah.
I think it still comes on at 10
The
o'clock.
Price is Right was the show that even when I was sick,
Yeah,
I would move to the
No.
living room
yeah.
and that's what I'm
I
watching.
think it came on at 10 o'clock, and Supermarket Sweep.
Nah, I never watched that.
That one, but Price is Right was always on at 10 o'clock.
That's the show.
And I think it's
Bob
still,
Barker.
I think it still comes on at 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
With
Drew Carey now.
Yeah.
But
He's been
Bob
doing it
Barker,
yeah.
dude,
Supposedly,
he
the
had the
rumor
long-
was he was hooking up with all the models.
he had the longest microphone
Yeah.
in the history of
Be like
ever.
holding it down here.
He'd hold it out to them.
You're engaged, like you're playing. Like, oh, that's too high. You bet too high. You crazy. Oh, that's too low.
And we've said this before, or at least I have. I would love to be on that show.
Oh yeah.
I just don't know what anything fucking costs. I don't buy groceries. I don't go buy.
I've noticed most of the time now I like underbid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, God damn, that's that.
Well,
much.
that's yeah.
So now, if you ever get on Price is Right, if whatever you think something costs, go over.
go. I think it's $2.50. Let's
Just
go
like when they do-
$5.
when they're trying to get on the game show and they're on and one always goes $1.
Oh yeah,
And he
yeah.
gets
The
on
guy
and
that
says,
underbids
yeah.
everybody. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
the $1 probably wouldn't work around today.
Price is Right though. That's great.
That is the game show I watched every
for
day.
sure.
I was homesick.
Yeah, me too.
That's the one.
Always 10 o'clock. Even my girls did.
Mm-hmm.
It was still on.
Yeah, so good, so good.
Man, all right.
A brand new car.
Yeah, Brad, the supermarket. Not what was the thing at the end?
Oh, where the
Super showcase.
showcase showdown.
Yeah, and they'd have, and if you get, and sometimes every now and then somebody would get within $1,000 and he win both.
Yeah, and
Spin the wheel.
and it was always you never wanted the first one.
No, you always
The first
say
one
pass.
was a bunch. You passed the first
I'll
one
pass Bob.
because the second one had
Yeah.
the trip and the brand new car.
Yeah. You always watch it and be like, yeah, I'll pass Bob.
I'll pass.
Had to be advantage because the person that was in the lead, who won the most money, got to bid first.
Yeah,
They could-
yep.
had to give
Or
them-
choose whether I want
Yeah.
this one or the next one.
yeah, 10
Yep.
o'clock. I think it still comes on.
I think it still does. I
have
don't.
no idea.
I haven't watched it in a long time. I used to love watching
Yeah,
it.
me too.
Now that I'm older, I'm never home at 10, so I don't watch it. And
Hell yeah.
well, that's all I got.
I want to go watch Ninja Turtles.
Of course you do.
I haven't watched that cartoon in a long time. Really thinking about it.
Well, that's all I got.
That's all I got.
Well, I take the back. I got one more thing. A brand new studio.
Oh, everybody like it? Do you like it, or should we go back? If we
You're
can.
asking me.
If we can.
All right. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.